That picture of the women back up. I'm just going to tell you about.
What's up with you? What's up with you, bro? Hey, we back at it, man. Jason Whitlock. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just looking like I'm just scrolling and showed up on my timeline, man. And I'm like, I couldn't believe this guy. Sometimes you see stuff, man. I mean, and this is welcome to the world of social media, man. This is a world where sometimes you literally can't believe what you're seeing. You know, it's just you can't believe it. And you wonder if it's all true. You wonder if somebody could actually really be that dense or that out of touch. And Jason, and he's done this before. He's done this before when it came to Joey Taylor, and which I have no idea why he does it. As a man, that ain't gonna work, man. I'm saying that ain't you doing that. What are you doing it for? You know what I mean? And this guy. So basically, he's come up with the genius solution that women should be unattractive so that men can control themselves. And I'm sure that took him a long time to come to that conclusion. And it's sad to hear him say something like that, given his position and how long he's been in sports broadcasting. And we know he's a ultra conservative. And once again, another guy who claims that he's a Christian. But some of that philosophy, is so twisted. And I'm looking at his chat box. They're tearing him apart in the chat box. The people on his it's on his page. The people on his page are chiming in about his comments. And another thing it is, right? And he probably would disagree with me, but it's a total submission, absolute submission to women. I mean, I know it comes across like, well, it is offensive, right? I know, but I'm just saying, really, as a man, I'm talking about, okay, amongst men, it's a submission. You couldn't praise. I mean, you want to talk about somebody on bending a knee. This is nothing but praise. And this is submission. This man sits there and we're going to read the little comment he said, and tells the world that as a grown adult man, some women, and it's up, I guess it's arbitrary, right? That he finds attractive are so much, he's so defeated. But I'm not talking about someone he's in a relationship with. I'm not talking about someone that he's trying to get to know better. I'm talking about just women at work or women within a group are of such a level to him that it makes him bend his knee and 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 submit and say, hey, I can't take you guys, and you guys need to be look more unattractive. And it's like that. Don't When you say, okay, when you say it doesn't make sense, most people it don't make sense, but he said it, and you can't believe it. I said, this guy, wait, bro, what are you doing? What are you saying, man? Come on, man. And one mistake he makes, is you can't blame somebody on how they look. You can't. You cannot blame someone because they look a certain kind of way. You can't hold it against them. You can't judge them. He doesn't understand that. And this is a grown man that's talking. And he's talking like this. This is a conversation you have, with your fifth grader who's just learning about the world and trying to come to an understanding about life. This is the conversation you have with a young person. You cannot blame somebody for what they look like. And we tend to put that on unattractive people, but that actually applies across the board. It applies across the board. Somebody is attractive. Are you going to be prejudiced toward them? Are you going to be mean toward them because they look good? No, what's the difference? And that's what I'm saying. Something as simple as that. What's the difference? So what they look like is irrelevant. So Jalen Hurts, a football player. Jalen Hurts, an NFL football player, was announced last year he was getting married. I believe they are. That's what he said. That was over last year. He has his whole management team is all female, right? His choice to make. Have no idea if he's pushing it. I have no idea if he's making a big deal about it. I'm sure in some circles and areas, people do make a big deal about an NFL player having an all-female management team. Okay. Jalen Hurts has an all-female management team in some kind of way, which I have no idea. Well, Jason Whitlock accuses the women of being too attractive for him, which has caused for him to have poor play last year, right? And I have no idea how he could come up with that idea in his head that some kind of way what Jalen Hurts does on the field is affected by the appearance of his female team. And he's come out and he said that he cannot work with attractive women like that. And how, as a man, you need discipline. Okay, all of that stuff, right? But still, that blows my mind because I'm like saying, well, what are you to do? Fire them? So you should go up to your female management team and then fire them. And they say, well, we've done everything you asked us to do. Can you tell us why we're being fired? Well, you're too attractive. And we're talking about grown women who with husbands and lives. We're talking about working with someone. You hire someone, she's your lawyer. She happens to be a female. Okay. She handles your affairs, legal affairs. What difference does it make who she's dating or that's her life. That's her life to live. So why would it matter what she looks like? And like I said, these are conversations. I know, I get it. These are conversations you have with someone that's in the fifth grade, that's on a journey, becoming an adult, understanding differences, understanding how life is. This is a conversation you have with someone that young. This is a grown man talking like that. And we got the video of him saying this stuff. We got the video of him saying this stuff. And I don't know if I have the whole thing. I might have a shorter version. But on this video, he's making comments about this man's female staff that I feel are inappropriate, man. I feel they've done nothing to him to make comments about their appearance. Now, hold on, because now we're getting into a whole different subject matter, right? Because there's nothing wrong with making comments about someone's appearance, right? No. But what I'm trying to say is the point you're making has something to do with that. The management of Jalen Hurts has nothing to do with the way those women look. Nothing. Nothing. That makes no sense. And that also goes into how can you control how they look? I mean, they look like they look, right? So if she whatever, hey, why not? You probably good, probably needs the money, needs to work, good opportunity, good experience, good place to network. You're a young NFL quarterback. I think you just got the max deal. You starting for a football team, whatever position they assume is good opportunity for them. So unless they're doing bad at the job, why should they be fired or removed? And that's I didn't get that part because he's saying they're too attractive, therefore a distraction, which makes no sense. But this is what he's come to in his mind, and he couldn't do it. In some kind of way, he's blaming them for his poor quarterback play. And I don't even, I mean, and people saying, what about the coach? What about the coach? What about Jalen himself? What about Jalen himself? But some kind of way, it's not Jalen. It's not the coach. It's not the quarterback's coach. It's not the Eagles. It's not the defenses he's playing. It's not the adjustments of the other teams and the coaches that are paid on those other teams to stop Jalen from being successful. It's none of those things. It's his all-female management group, and it's some kind of way he's distracted because in Jason's opinion, they're attractive women. And I don't understand that because, I mean, I'm not Jalen Hurts. I can't see the world through his point of view. But I have a hard time believing that his female management crew are the only attractive women that he sees in his life. He has to go to the game. You got a whole group. I don't know the Eagles, but I know there's a collection of cheerleaders right there on the sideline. You have attractive women in the stands. He has his teammates within the locker room, going in, going out. They bring attractive women inside the locker room, right amongst them. So why would he care about his feet? That's what I'm saying. Just when you think about it, what is this guy saying? And what kind of conversation for a grown man should we be having? Now check this out. Here's a video. Like the stream, man. Here we go. Fair use, fair use.
Can we put that picture of the women back up? I'm just going to tell you about me. I can't speak for Jalen Hurts. I can't speak for all men. But when I'm surrounded by a group of women that look like that, my brain starts malfunctioning. And I start thinking about silly things that are unrelated to business. Chantel Romaine would just have my mind off in crazy places. Rachel Everett. Nicole Lynn. The whole group of them. Chantel's at the top of the food chain there, but I could not properly focus. I wouldn't be in the right mindset if I'm on the phone and this is the group of people that I'm.
This is sad too, man. You know what's sad about that is objectifying. In the world we live in, we live in the world of social media, man. I mean, whether you like it or not, we live in the world of social media. You got Instagram. You got OnlyFans. They're making so much money over there. It's ridiculous. You have dating apps. And this man is objectifying women who are management or lawyers or whatever, agents, some random football player. And he's talking about he can't control himself around these women. These women are not positioning themselves to the world from a OnlyFans or a Instagram perspective. That's what I'm saying. I don't get that. So why are you viewing that way? Why would you view women like this that way? There are women. If you want to objectify women, if you want to be that way, there are places for you as a grown man. And I saw Jason's net worth. Jason's worth over $1 million. It makes no sense to me the way he's talking, brother. Have at it. This is the world is your oyster. You're over $1 million. There are plenty of places you can go, and you can objectify, and you can engage in, and it's all willing, and it's all mutual, and you'll get what you're looking for. But why would you want to try to do that on women who are not presenting themselves or not open to that type of attraction? They're not appealing to the general audience from that perspective. So why would you treat them? So why would you treat them that way? And that's what is blowing my mind. I mean, Jalen Hurts has a management team. It's all female. Okay. To then turn around like baseball cards and start talking about these women. These are lawyers. These are professionals. They're not to be their judgment of them now would be just like judgment if he felt they were unattractive. What's the difference? What's the difference? If he felt these were unattractive women and he was judging them, what would be the difference? Yeah, he is just another simp. Just another simp. And it shows you the desperation out there. Like I said, Jason Whitlock's worth over $1 million. He's a grown man. You know, he should go out and he should indulge in the normal activities of a person his age and of what he wants. Says he's in the church. There are plenty of mates in the church. Why doesn't he pursue the church? That's stupid, though. I don't know if he got ahead of himself. I don't know what his point was, but he sits back and he's talking about Jalen Hurts can't play well because he's around attractive women. I mean, he's a football player, and a lot of that stuff is not even on the field. You're talking about stuff that whatever he's doing with them, and I don't know, but I'm sure whatever it's probably a lot of the stuff's over the phone. They handle his business affairs. They book his flights. They handle all this stuff. Probably a lot of that stuff's not even one-on-one. Yet some kind of way he wants to, and in a lot of ways, this is him trying to blame women because Jalen, in his opinion, hasn't been playing well. And this is the first time I've seen this type of take. First time I've seen anybody blame a quarterback's management, his management team for his poor play. Not him, not the team, not the defenses of the other team, but somehow his management, and just so happens this management team, and by Jason's comments, Jason's all attractive women. So therefore, because they're attractive women, they should some kind of way be punished. So, because what you're saying is they can't, if they're influencing him in a negative way, you're saying they can't do their jobs. You're saying essentially because they're women, they cannot do their job. And if they were unattractive women, I guess he believes they would be able to do their jobs. So he just should get an escort and be done with it. I think so. I think so. I think he should. I think that he used to be at Fox News. He has influence within that NFL community. I think it's embarrassing for the men who are dating these women. I think it's inappropriate for him to be making these open comments about their appearance. They're not presenting themselves to the world from their perspective. They're not presenting themselves to the world in the same way that an OnlyFans or an Instagram model is presenting themselves. They're not presenting themselves like that. They just simply happen to be who they are. They handle what? They handle the business affairs of an NFL quarterback, which is a wonderful job. Absolutely life changing, wonderful opportunity. Get this on your resume. This possibility, say 5 years from now, you transfer on to another quarterback and you handle his affairs. You're well paid. You're getting experience. Gina is management. Chantel's communication. I guess that would be social media. Rachel is marketing. Nicole is his agent. Shamika is another person, communications. Okay. All right. What about it? Oh, well, he's not playing well because these women are too attractive. They're distracting him. I don't know where he's getting that from. I have no idea where he's coming. When you think about it, like what? I think he just got married last year. I mean, do you really think this man's got time to be? You really think that, man? I think he went to Alabama. His wife is from Alabama. He met her there. They wanted to wait. He wanted to make sure he was financially secure. He just got his big deal, and they just got married. And he's heavily into frats. And what's wrong with him having an all-female management team, you know? What's wrong with that? Jason says that's the reason of his poor play. And this is a guy that worked on Fox News. This is a guy, he's an ultra conservative now. And this is his conversation. This is the conversation that we get from Jason Whitlock. Serious bad observation. And very immature at that. Very not something you would expect out of a grown adult person. Something you probably would hear in the barbershop, but they're just saying it. They're saying it for fun. But to say that from the perspective he's saying it, he truly believes that. It makes you wonder how much interaction does he even get around women, and what's the big deal? What is the big deal? He's saying that he wouldn't be able to control himself.
Constantly talking about my situation with it just my mind would drift. I'm in a realer place than because I know there's some of y'all listening. Well, that ain't me. I'm perfectly. I'm the most righteous man in the world, and I it doesn't bother me. These women. I'm never distracted. You're lying. I don't lie to myself. There are just some things factual about me and other men. Our sexual discipline has to be combated every single day, or we'll do dumb things.
Yeah, hey man, that's Jason Whitlock. That's the guy from Fox News. He's got a channel. He's a big time ultra black conservative. He does some stuff for the Blaze. I know. I mean, just him saying that's embarrassing to me. I don't even understand how he could, how he could put that together. And then in addition to that, and we live in the age of social media now. If he wants to be a thirst bucket, if he wants to be thirsty, just go to Instagram. Go to Instagram and TikTok. Go to TikTok. There are plenty of places for a guy who's thirsty and indulge. And the thing about those particular opportunities there, you'll probably get responses back, and it's probably will be an opportunity that you can actually get to know and follow up. But random women who happen to work in sports management, that's crazy to be saying the things that he's saying. Or is it just about he's looking for some reason to attack Jalen Hurts? Maybe that has something to do with, Jalen Hurts, a black man. He's not a big fan of black people. So maybe this is just a reason for him to attack Jalen Hurts. And also to push like a sexist point of view out on him. It's his career to have. It's his career to have. It's Jalen Hurts' football career. If he wants to surround themselves with women, that's his choice. That's a choice that he makes. When you go into the draft, you pick your agent. You pick your agent. And in the same way, Jason, you wouldn't pick all women, you would pick men, I guess. Okay, that's your obligation. That's your right. He has a right to live his life the way he wants to live his life. Because the whole to you're pushing a idea that somehow it's because they're attractive females, but I think it's more to it than that. I think if you deep dive into this, I think this is about you don't want him to have women in his management. You don't like that. And here you got this black quarterback, you got this black guy, and he's decided to have an all-female management team. And who the hell does he think he is? You're a football player. You're a tough guy. You know, we chew leather. And how dare you have all of these women on your management team? And instead of saying that, he's making ridiculous statements about their appearance as if that would matter anywhere. He's an ultra conservative. That's Jason Whitlock. He's an ultra conservative. He's an extremist. His points of view are very extreme. And he's supposed to be a Christian conservative, and within the sphere of Christianity, you're not supposed to be judging people. And it's not just because people do good or bad things. You're not supposed to look at someone and cast a judgment on that person because they look, which is normally is apply. It's mostly it's applicable to unattractive people. So because someone is unattractive, you make a judgment call, which you're not supposed to do. But some kind of way, lost in the sauce, attractive people, you're not supposed to judge them either. You're supposed to give people a chance, and then you can establish how their character, how they are, and how they behave in their characters. But we see clearly he doesn't believe in that. And he's basically going on his sexual attraction to these women. That's some kind of way that's supposed to have something to do with them. And then we go down that rabbit hole because of what you just, that's a rabbit hole right there. Just because you find a woman attractive, she shouldn't have to change anything she's doing. Because you're trying to justify your behavior. You're saying because you find her attractive, fill in the blanks. And that's pretty dangerous to even think like that, man. So he's such a dog. So all male management teams should have sexual desires. What? Well, you know what? I didn't even look at it that way, man. That's possible. The guy can't work with all female staff. Yeah. You know what? I didn't even look at it that right. You're exactly right. What if he had an all male management team and some of the men in the management team were homosexual? So would you then say his poor play has something to do with those guys? If he can't throw the football, he's throwing the football over the head of receivers. He's taking sacks. He's fumbling. He's throwing the football behind the receivers. He's late on his plays. The team is losing. So then instead of blaming him or blaming the defense, you blame his management team because you believe the men, or if it's all men or women, some kind of way, the composition is too much for him to handle. And we have a grown man saying that. I get it, man. He said that with a straight face. That's Jason Whitlock. And it's ridiculous. But he said it. And it also is to some degree, it's very sexist to come to a conclusion that some kind of way, if a woman is attractive, she's for you. Her attractiveness has something to do with you. You show up at the airport to catch a flight. An attractive woman, by your estimation, shows up at the airport to catch a flight. Yet some kind of way that has something to do. You got to be there on this time. You got to go to this gate. But some kind of way, because she's attractive, that has something to do with you. And that's what I'm saying. That's what he's basically trying to say. Oh, I missed my flight. Why? Because I was looking at this attractive woman who was in the line on the other side. Damn, these attractive women, they messed my whole schedule up. Well, why didn't you just go to your flight? Well, if they would have been more, if they were unattractive women, then I could have made my flight. But because she was attractive, I'm saying that's basically the same thing. Jalen Hurts is not playing well because his team is attractive, which is a ridiculous statement to make. But it's also punitive toward those women in the sense that what should they be unattractive? So your lawyer needs to be unattractive if you're a football player. Your management needs to be unattractive if you're trying to get a contract. Your agent needs to be an unattractive female. Yeah, isn't that something, man? And he should have learned that as a kid, man. If maybe he'd be in a better place in his life if he had learned that as a kid. You don't judge people by their looks, and that applies to attractive people too. I don't know why. And I admit that. No, I admit that somewhere in our society we get it. We get it. We're very judgmental. I didn't say we weren't. I did not say we were not a judge. We do not cast judgment on each other. I didn't say that. Right. But the point is, you can't, if someone is attractive, you can't say, well, this person is attractive, so I'm not going to hire them to do this job I need them to do. Oh, this person is ugly, so I'm not going to hire them to do the job. The whole point is they do the job. And that's what the point is. Do they do the job? And we see in many cases, and that's the crazy thing about it, in many cases, the people are, well, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, huh? Do you want me to go down that rabbit hole? We don't want to go down that rabbit hole. We don't want to say that in some cases the women are unattractive and they can do the job, and the women are attractive and they can't do the job. But this has nothing to do with his management, man. This is a way for him to try to blame the fact or bring attention to the fact that he has all female management team. Which, in my opinion, why would it even matter? I don't know who. Let's look at the. Let's look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. You had Aaron Rodgers. Now they said that then somebody they got Kirk Cousins. Let's go with Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. I have no idea who the head of marketing is for those. I don't know. Man, woman, I don't know. They're agents. I don't know who their agents are. So then, would you then turn around and say because they played bad on the field, that is the fault of the management of those men? And I'm saying, where's he getting that from with Jalen Hurts? Where is he coming to a conclusion in some kind of way? Jalen Hurts is struggling because of an all-female management team that he put together. And why does he assume that some kind of way Jalen Hurts is on some type of woke stuff? Maybe those are the women he wants to hire. You know, we don't know what Jalen Hurts did at the University of Alabama. He was heavy in the fraternities. His wife is from a sorority, the sorority, whatever, the sorority to the fraternity that he's in. That's where he met her. They do a lot of stuff together. They've been together for 8 years. They just got married last year based on his finances. Why would you assess that some kind of way this man has some reason to hire his management team? His management team out of a collection of managers for him. He says black women do that all the time. They hate attractive men. Yeah, you got to help me out on that one, brother. That's something so black women judge men and they mistreat attractive men. Yeah, it's first time I heard that one, politics. So there's a group of women who are highly judgmental of men. This is what he's saying. And they because it didn't seem I'm trying to see. Do I see women, I'm black women, do I see women in general mistreating or being mean to, how about that, to the men that they would find attractive? Unless the woman has told me they found, okay, the ones where women have confessed that that they are attracted to a particular man, the women who've done that, I haven't seen them mistreat them, whether they were dating them or not. I haven't seen that. I think they're well received. I think we live in a very superficial society. I think that to a certain degree, baseline attractiveness opens a lot of doors it doesn't open for other people. And going out into the nightclub scenes, even Instagram, we can go look at Instagram, our social media now, TikTok. I think there's a general acceptance for men they find attractive. So I could be wrong. Obviously, you say black women do it. I have no idea how you would know, but you say you know. I find it hard to I don't know. I mean, I don't understand the that concept. And Jalen Hurts can have an all-female management team if that's what he wants. I don't even think that affects a man's career. I mean, obviously, your agent has to be competent. Most of the contracts are already structured a certain kind of way. I mean, you would have to literally be a horrific agent to mess up a contract. I think Lamar Jackson's mother, Lamar Jackson's mother negotiated his deal. His multi-million dollar, I think he was the highest paid football player. It was negotiated by his mom. And most of the contracts, like I said, it's pretty much set in place with increases here, increases there, certain things you get. But it's going to be within the same, just like Lamar Jackson's contract is available. I don't know about the public, but it's available to the other agents. And they can go through that contract and they can see the differences and they can make adjustments for their the men that they represent. So beyond that, why would it matter if she's a woman or not? The same thing for all the other positions. And that's probably social media, all that market and stuff. That probably handles all his social media accounts, arranges his charity events, arranges his opportunities that he gets into when he travels. Perhaps there's a school that they would like for him to visit. Perhaps there's a place they would like him to go. You know, I've been to the mall and there was a football player. Didn't even know. I had to go in there and shop. And there was a football player. There was two men beside him. I don't know if his agents, but he was right there and he would sign autographs. And then it was like another sports show. There was a sports shop that was a little down. It wasn't right by him, but he was right where you can see him coming in the door. And he promised that if you got a football, he'd sign that football for you. So I imagine the store paid him a certain amount of money to come, be there for a couple of hours, sell footballs, sign footballs, make money. So I imagine that's how that went. So there's a love-hate situation, and black females. This guy now, hold up. I'm just reading the chat. Black females are highly judgmental of heterosexual black men who hold them accountable for their own terrible life decisions, crude words, and evil actions. Okay, I got you. I hear you, man. I hear you. Anyhow, Jason Whitlock has decided to take an opportunity and speak about the facial beauty of the women who comprise Jalen Hurts management team. And within his assessment, he makes very I don't know, man. The things he says, you just have to wonder about it. Because, like I said, I'm gonna say this again. Those are the women who work. That's the management team for Jalen Hurts. If you want to objectify somebody, just go on Instagram, man. Get you an Instagram account. Go get you a TikTok account. Go get you a Facebook account. There are women posting photos they want you to like. They want you to take a look at this. They got all types of photos up. Why don't you take a look at this? Hey, stranger, look at what I got. Hey, stranger. Hey, strange man on the internet. Look at what I look like in this dress. Look at what I look like when I pick this up. Look at what I look like when I do this. Oh, by the way, I got an OnlyFans. Oh, by the way, I have another social media app where we can get to talk to each other. It'll cost you $10 a minute to chat. For you want to do a FaceTime, that's $50 a minute. $50 a minute. Where's your credit card at? And Jason's got plenty of money. He's got plenty of money. So, and that's what I don't get. He's a smart guy. Why would you sit around objectifying women who are not presenting themselves to you in that manner? You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to present themselves in that manner. You know what I mean? So why would you objectify them? Why would you be talking about their appearance? What does it sort of irrelevant? They're there to do a job. And that's why I give Jalen Hurts the benefit of the doubt. He keeps saying that. That ain't got nothing to do with that man. Jalen Hurts is not a thirst bucket. He's not a thirst bucket. He's not overly consumed with the appearance of the women that's in his inner circle or in his life. The man just got married. You would think that he would be spending his time dealing with his wife. I mean, he met her at Alabama. They've been together for 8 years. They put off marriage. She wanted to get married. He wanted to marry her. He wanted to make sure he secured a future for them. He got a big contract, $200+ million contract, not to mention all his endorsements. And they got married. And Jason Whitlock thinks this guy's worried about the way his management team looks. Why would that even matter? That doesn't make any sense. Says many black women tend to overlook unattractive black men, okay, by their assessments while unfairly judging attractive ones. You're losing me on this, brother. You're losing me on this. Many black women tend to overlook unattractive black men. In what capacity? You mean in trying to date them? You mean trying to have a offering to date them? If that's what you're talking about, you mean like a guy who's offering to take her out, offering to get to know her? Because that's really not, I mean, that's a different direction. I'm just simply saying, Jason, and if you look at it, he's embodying all the things he's complaining about. He's just doing it from a man's point of view. And another thing he's doing, he's giving these compliments out, unearned compliments. Unearned compliments goes against the code of masculinity. Heaping undeserved praise on women, including women you don't know, barely know, heaping undeserved praise goes against the code. It goes against the way things are. And I said that. I said, man, you shouldn't even be, no women have, ain't done nothing to them, but two, you shouldn't just be praising these women to the extent that you're doing. You're being ridiculous, brother. Brother, you look pathetic. That's not going to work. That's a way for him to try to open up the door. That makes you look pathetic. Incel, you think he's an incel? That makes you look pathetic that you would Undeserved praise, man. And then they have to be receptive. You got to understand. And Jason, this is the truth. Now, Jason, we're grown men. Jason, praise from men they really don't desire, is that going to be well received, Jason? And it's like, why are you playing with that? Why are you playing with that? Praise, the praise of you, Jason Whitlock's observations, are they going to be received by those women? And you saw this thing with Joy Taylor. You heaped a lot of praise on her, and you saw what she said. She was not uh, impressed. She wasn't impressed at all with your interest in her. And she said some extremely negative things. But once again, it was undeserved praise. It was like, why are you talking about her like that? Do you know her like that? Why are you talking about the way she looks? Why are you on a YouTube channel making comments about the way this woman looks? And this woman really don't even like you. And she went off on you. And then you tried to play victim, but you're the one, you shouldn't. Well, why do you care what she looks like? Are you dating her? Would you like to date her? Well, you found out she's not interested, and I think you're going to find out the same thing from Jalen Hurts' point of view. And that's an absurd thing to say about a man who just got married, though, because that raises all types of flags with that man. That man's trying to maintain a relationship. They just got married. That man's probably trying to work it on his first kid. Probably going to be, he takes the season he'll be playing this year. We'll hear on Monday Night Football, Jason's about to have his first kid. He's living his wonderful life. He just happens to have an all-female management team that you some kind of way have you believe that because the women are attractive to you, that they're a distraction to him. And then you say all men. That's just not true, brother. That's just not true. All men. No, they're not. All men are not thirst buckets. All men are not thirst buckets. You can be single. You can be an incel. You can be divorced for 20 years and you can work around beautiful women and there's no problem. You do the job you're paid to do. And they live their lives. They do what they do. And there's no issue. I don't understand how he's coming to that men could. And that's another thing too, when you're weak and you're dependent on your job. You shouldn't depend on your job to get you interactions with women. That's got to come from you. That's got to come. And then most men who work in diverse jobs where they got to deal with the public, they fully understand there's always going to be attractive people. They all got big butts. They all look good. What about them? It's like even as a supervisor, hey, she came to work late again. You need to write her up. Well, I can't write her up. Why? Because she's attractive. She got a big butt. Then how would you have a job? They would eventually catch up that's how you think, and you would get fired. And you would get fired for a stupid reason. A very stupid reason. That has nothing to do with the job. Everything that Jason said has nothing to do with the reason those women are hired. And guess what? The man's worth $300 million. If he wanted to surround himself with thoughts, if Jalen Hurts, that's between him, he just got married. But I'm saying if Jalen Hurts wants to live in a house full of Instagram models and thoughts, he probably could. If that's what he wanted to do, it's his life to live. He probably could do that if he wanted to do that. Yeah, and I don't understand the amount of thirst, though. The amount of thirst that's jumping out of you, Jason, is ridiculous. I mean, that is some thirst there, brother. And you need to do something about that, man. Should never get to that point. Just some men, just some men, some, yep, you're right. Some men. I've seen men, I've seen that situation. But still, it comes down to judgment. And you can't judge someone by their appearance. Now, I know we do. I'm not trying to live in a fantasy land, right? I know we do, right? I know we do that, right? So I'm not even trying to live in a fantasy land. I'm saying that this guy is saying that about Jalen Hurts. And it's a ridiculous statement to make. And that's his management team. And why wouldn't they want that job? I mean, who wouldn't? If you have the professions, if the careers you're trying to make, why wouldn't you want to start out with a young quarterback in the NFL and go through that journey and in the process network, find other clients and live your life, outside, adjacent to the NFL, and all of the things that come with it? Who wouldn't want that job? He's saying that because they're attractive women, they shouldn't have the job. And that's what I'm saying. That's ridiculous. And that's no more fair. That's just as unfair as the women who wouldn't want, hey, the guy who's the valet. Yeah, we don't. Well, we know they do that. Okay, we don't like him, so hire somebody else. We know they do that. Yeah, you shouldn't have to depend on your job. The job is a job, man. A job is a job. And the fact that he thinks Jalen Hurts just got married. Hey, and why was he want why? And if he wanted to do it, he's worth over 300 million. He could actually do that. If he wanted to have a house full of Instagram models, he could do it. If he wanted to do it, he could do it. If that's how he wanted to live his life, he could do it. If he said, hey, I want to have 5 Instagram models join me in my home, and I don't want to be a married man, I want to be single, he could do it. He's already signed. The contract's guaranteed. He could do it. It's pretty obviously he doesn't want to do that. The man's just got married. I think he's working on his first kid. He hired a management team. He hired a staff that he wanted. They just happen to be all women. And some kind of way, people question that. It goes back down to the whole, this is another thing that he's bringing up. Are they qualified? When it's a man, the assumption is that they're qualified. It's almost like the Charlie Kirk. If I see a black pilot, I want to make sure he's qualified. First of all, how would you make sure? How would you know how to judge his qualification? You're going to sit in the cockpit? You're going to go up in there and sit in the cockpit and watch him operate the plane, and then after after a while, maybe 10 minutes, you feel comfortable that he can fly the plane? But that's what this seems like. To some degree, he's questioning the qualifications because they're female. And he's using the Jalen Hurts' poor play as a barometer to suggest they're not qualified to do the job. And I have no idea what they're supposed to do because his poor plays on the field, answering his Twitter page, and his contract is negotiated. But some kind of, oh, that's right. They're attractive women. So because they look good, they must be a distraction. And Jason said, look at him. He said, hey, I would be distracted by those women. If I had to deal with them, I'd be focused on them. I'd just be distracted by them. And we know that's a ridiculous thing to say, but fair use.
Can we put that picture of the women back up? I'm just going to tell you about me. I can't speak for Jalen Hurts. I can't speak for all men. But when I'm surrounded by a group of women that look like that, my brain starts malfunctioning. And I start thinking about silly things that are unrelated to business. Chantel Romaine would just have my mind off in crazy places. Rachel Everett, Nicole Lynn, the whole group of them. You know, Chantel's at the top of the food chain there, but I could not properly focus. I wouldn't be in the right mindset if I'm on the phone and this is the group of people that I'm constantly talking about my situation with. It just, my mind would drift. I'm in a realer place than, because I know there's some of y'all listening. Well, that ain't me. You know, I'm perfectly, I'm the most righteous man in the world, and I it doesn't bother me. These women, I'm never distracted. You're lying. I don't lie to myself. There are just some things factual about me and other men. Our sexual discipline has to be combated every single day.
No, you need to get married, man. You need to find you a mate. You need to find you a wife, a woman, and you need to calm down. You see, this is what happens when guys, and like I said, thirst bucket. This is a thirst bucket. This is a guy who won't take care of his primal needs. He refuses to address it. I guess he's wishing on a star that Cinderella's going to drop out the air and solve all his problems in the process. He's a thirst bucket in the process. He's sitting around dreaming and lusting after women who are marketing team sports agents. And he's not doing this in 1955. He's doing it in 2026 when all you got to do is go get a Instagram. It's all types of photos that those women offer for strange men to like and comment on. You go to the page, and at the top of the page, you click this link, and this link leads to her. You can have a private situation. And for $50 a minute, you can have a one-on-one FaceTime. He doesn't have to sit around and pine over Jalen Hurts' marketing team. He doesn't have to sit around and pine over Joy Taylor. He doesn't have to sit around and lust after women who may or may not be interested in him. If he would pursue Instagram or whatever other means, he wouldn't be thirsty like that and accusing other men of being the same way. I can almost assure you Jalen Hurts is not like that. I can assure you of that. But clearly Jason Whitlock has issues. Now, he claims to be a Christian. That conversation he's having is not very Christian. And, once again, we see all of these black conservatives, black liberals, black conservatives who keep living this liberal lifestyle, even when they claim to be church people. That's not in the Bible. You don't talk, you're not supposed to lust. You're not supposed to, the flesh, it's supposed to be just what it is. The flesh is the flesh. And you have to control yourself. Actually, in a church, if you can't control yourself, you can contact the minister for, say, a Monday session, you got to pay him. He'll tell you how much he charges. Say, I can see you here Monday from 10 to 12. I charge $500 an hour. I need a donation of $1,000, and I'll talk to you. And we'll go over what you got. Oh, you suffer from lust. You suffer from desires of the flesh. You suffer from you're thirsty for sports agents and Jalen Hurts marketing team. He'll pray with you, man. He'll pray with you and he'll try to show you the right way to go. He'll try to show you what decisions to make. But no, you don't get on here and wish for Cinderella to fall out the window. Fall out the clouds because you claim that you're a Christian. It's pretty clear you're not. Maybe that's why you're not being blessed, brother. Because you claim that you're this religious guy, but you're not. You keep talking about it, but you keep showing all these kinks in your armor. Yeah, this is pretty stupid, man. This is pretty thirsty for a man at your age. This is something that you talk to a fifth grader about. This is someone who's a child who's learning to grow into adulthood, who doesn't understand the way things are, the way our world is crafted. And see, if he ain't a player, and I'm not trying to accuse him of being a player, but a woman who ain't, listen to me, brother, a woman who ain't talking to me, doesn't matter what she looks like. If she ain't with me, if we're not communicating with each other, I don't care why would I care what she looks like? That's none, I could care less. And it's not even about, it's none of my business. It's about, I don't have the time. I would rather spend my time with someone who's going to appreciate my interest and appreciate my attention. And that's what I mean. The stuff he's saying is unwarranted. And he makes himself look so weak saying it. And you want to talk about bending the knee. He might think that he's this masculine red pill dude. Bro, that is one of the most submissive. What you just said, that's beyond submission. Talking about a man admitting he's defeated, you are defeated, brother. And then the sad thing about it, the man's a millionaire. And you see her running around. I can see if somebody running around here and they're, a certain age, or you got somebody 21, 22, and things ain't working out for them. I can see that and they're thirsty. But a grown multi-millionaire dude walking around living his life thirsty like that, lusting after women who are not even putting themselves in a position to be sexualized and objectified, you do have to wonder about how much is this guy getting out. Jason Whitlock is that dude who gets thirsty over what was that cartoon used to be out, the Flintstones. There was a cartoon, it was supposed to be Fred, and it was Wilma, and it was no, it was Barney. That was his name. His name was Barney, wasn't it? Now Fred Flintstone, okay, Barney Rubble, okay, and they were that was a cartoon. Jason's the type of dude that gets thirsty from watching the cartoon, the display of that, and that's a warning sign. You got to do something about your life, man. Yeah, that's a thirst bucket, brother. That's flat out being a thirst bucket. 100%. And there's other reasons he's talking about it. I see he's got the NFL shield pink. And maybe he said it was he's trying to find a way to question the qualifications of the women that work for Jason, but he doesn't know how. He doesn't know how. And there's nothing wrong. Jason Hurt can hire Jalen, my fault. Jalen Hurts can hire whomever he chooses. And this is a crazy world we live in now, man. Absolute insane world. Now you got podcasters caring about who a NFL hires for his marketing team. I mean, does it even matter to you? In some kind of way, Jalen Hurts is not qualified. He's already got his contract. And his poor play, you don't blame the coaches. He's not going to blame the head coach, the quarterback coach for the Eagles. He's not going to blame them. He's going to blame the all-female marketing team who have nothing to do with his on the field of play actions. They're not. I don't see a trainer up there. They have nothing to do with training him. They have nothing to do with his film study. They simply handle his business affairs. But some kind of way he believes it's their fault that he can't play because they look so good. And he's a grown man, a young man, worth $300 million. In some kind of way he can't control himself. So he needs to hire unattractive women so that then he can, I guess he's trying to suggest he would play better if he had an unattractive management team. Yes, and that's the thing about red pill. When you don't understand it, right? You don't know how to break it down. It's almost like a Bible. You can read the Bible all day, but if you don't know how to break down those passages, you don't understand it. And he doesn't understand relationships. He doesn't understand dating. And he certainly doesn't understand women. And he's a very popular guy. I think he's got 2 million subs. Former Fox News sports host, controversial, ultra conservative. And for whatever reason, I think that's just common sense, making these offensive comments toward those women. And another thing you have to be careful of when you do that. So you have to respect that woman. He don't know what those women are doing, man. He don't know who those women are dating. He doesn't know them to be talking about them like that. You don't go out and lust after a female that you don't know who this woman is. You don't know what this woman's doing. He has no concept of who those women are dating. Yet he's making lustful comments as if talking about he couldn't control. I wouldn't be able to control myself around them. And that speaks, it is so much wrong with that. It's so much wrong with that. You know what I mean? So much. But this is where we are, man. This is where we're at. And the thing you learn about a Jason Whitlock is don't be like him. I'm serious, man. I mean, that costs you nothing. I'm just saying, as you live your life, and you're gonna see his stuff from time to time. He's gonna say something that goes viral. You don't be like this guy. Don't be like this guy. Don't be walking around thirsty like that. Lusting after women who possibly don't even like you. And like I said, even within the red pill, within the game, you can't. Compliments have to be earned. Okay, and nothing wrong with complimenting women, well, you really ain't supposed to compliment women in general, anyhow. But ain't nothing wrong with complimenting someone that you're dating, but they have to be earned. And see, Jason Whitlock, that's what I mean. And he's a textbook when it comes unearned, and it comes from people like Jason Whitlock. It's not going to be received in the way the women want to receive them. So the common sense would be, why do it? If it's not going to be received, why are you praising this woman? Or do you know her? Are you dating her? Why are you talking about what she looks like? So right there, it's a violation of that. Just in that. That's weak, Jason. Jason, you don't give unearned compliments. And then you really shouldn't even be focused on a woman you don't even know. And that woman ain't even putting it out. There's some, and this man's a millionaire. And this man's on his way, what, to 70 years old? Millionaire. He's thirsty. He's single. He don't know how to control himself. He don't know what decision to make. He got all of that money. And this is what I mean by YouTube, man. You come on YouTube, a lot of these dudes are just losers. Just look at these dudes, man. And they come on and they think that their money is going to solve all their problems. And in a lot of ways, because he's fake about the Bible, which he is, he's not getting blessed. And he's supposed to be turned over to that lustful spirit. That's punishment for not following the word. If you know it, that's one thing. If you know it and don't follow it, that it's in the Bible. That makes it even worse. It's one thing to be blind to it, ignorant to the word. You make mistakes. That's not good. You're a sinner, but you don't know better. That's not good, but that is the way you sin. That's acceptable. You're a sinner and you know better. That's a special place in hell for people like that. Is a thirsty dude, man. And this is what happens, man, when you got to get out there, man. You could take time off. You got to live your life. And you can't sit around worrying and whining about women who they don't find you attractive, so you move on. And I think a lot of dudes, especially a lot of incels, they burn through a lot of their lives thirsting after a woman who does not share the attraction. Don't mean she's bad. Don't mean the guy is bad. It's just that you have to move on. And then you understand, what is all these unearned compliments? So yeah, I get that, man. But why are you praising these birds like that, man? What's wrong with you? I see her. Hey, bro, I see her. You talking about the one in the white? I see her. What you mean all of this extra stuff about that's the most beautiful? Come on, hey man. Now you going too far now. There's limits. There are limits to our patience. And that's crazy though, man. Just think about a guy like Jalen Hurts. You're a young man out of Alabama, won a couple of national championships. You got a news reporter, a sports reporter that's thirsting after your management team and using that as a way to attack you on the football field. And thinking that that's a good idea. Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild. He's coming off terrible, man, and he's not really people are not really surprised. And the church, if he go attend church, man, I don't know if he do, if he not, he should. And he's a millionaire. Go find you a wife, man, because the way you're talking, you really need to do something about the natural instincts, and we're all, that's all in us. Instinctively, we're all wired a certain kind of way. Um, he don't go to strip clubs. See, that's another thing. He used to go to the strip clubs. He don't go to those no more. And I think he needs some one-on-one with a pastor, man, to try to get his life together. and get him focused on the right path. Or them guys he be bringing on his show. I mean, I don't know if them guys are past. If he's talking to them guys he brings on his show, and this is the end result, they're not pastors. I can see why he's still troubled. That he has a lust demon. And just off of that, he's making a lot of bad decisions. And to a certain degree, you're right. You put jealousy on there. There's a lot of jealousy of Jalen Hurts. He sees a young black kid living his best life, young black kid that's not going through the troubles he's going through. Young black kid married his college sweetheart, surrounding himself with beautiful women, and he looks at himself, man, and the jealousy pops out. The anger, the jealousy, the rage, the feeling of betrayal by the faith that he chose. He feels that. He feels like, why not? Why me? Why am I not living the life of a Jalen Hurts? Look at me. And that's probably driving a lot of this. And like I said, the whole aspect of attractive women, yet those women are not attractive to him. They're not attractive. He's not attractive to those women. And that's probably, there's a certain amount of anger, resentment, and bitterness. And and the funny thing about Jason Whitlock, this is the crazy thing. Because now we're getting into, the red pill, and the women make mistakes, and then they wind up becoming men haters. In many cases, Jason, he's on his way to being a woman hater. He's on his way. The things he said, man, with the women, they got to work, man. They got bills. So they work for Jalen Hurts. Okay. They have bills, but they're too attractive. What do they got? That doesn't even make sense. They look like they look. That's what I mean. And that's what I'm saying. That's bitterness. And that stuff is just going to build up in you. And he don't understand that. And he sat there at the Fox News. He was the only one that didn't get laid. He sat there and he worked. He had a position of power. He sat there for Fox Sports, and Emmanuel Ocha, all of those other guys were getting laid. I think wasn't Shannon Sharp was there. All those other guys were smashing. And he was the only person going home to an empty bed. And he's mad, man. You can see where that can get into a man's spirit. That can get into a man's soul. And that can bite at him and gnaw at him. And now he sees a young kid to Jason, a young kid, Jalen Hurts, out here living his best life, just signed a max contract, $300 million deal, just married his girlfriend from college, met at the University of Alabama. He's well connected within his fraternity. She's well connected in her sorority. They have a lot of parties within that select group. He has all female management team. That's supposed to matter, I guess. That's why he keeps bringing it up. I don't know if that matters. And he's looking at himself, man, and he's racked with lust. He's eaten alive with lust. And now he's hating. And like I said, you can look at a Jason Whitlock and you learn what not to do. Don't make mistakes like that, man. And if you do decide to get into the Bible, man. Don't say you in it, but you're not in it. Get into it. And real talk, there are pastors out there who can lead you down the right path. And some churches, depends on the church, they'll do a little matchmaking. They'll do a little matchmaking. Some churches, if you go to your pastor and tell him you ate to the bone with lust and you're bitter and you're finding yourself having a hard time dealing with women, period, he'll pray. He'll pray with you. He'll try to deliver you, but then he'll look around and say, Sister Mary's husband passed away a year ago. Let me see if I can do something. Let me match these people up. You never know, man. Like the stream, man. Support the platform. We want to get into Jason. We're trying to catch up. It's Friday. What are you into? So he's an incel. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, that is part of being an incel, wanting women who don't want you, or which you know. And actually, if you're actually trying to date, that's a bad decision to date women who don't want you. Because why are you dating them? And you say, well, it could lead to something. Okay, enjoy. It probably won't, but if they don't want you, you probably they that don't mean nothing. They just don't want you. Just like there are a lot of women you don't want. As simple as that. He said, go home and toss off. That's not going to solve his problems. That's not going to solve any of his problems. And what's sad, man, when you look at the word, you look at a guy like Jalen Hurts. The guy's in football shape. The guy really never says a lot. He's got a Super Bowl. He's been in two Super Bowls. He's got a Super Bowl trophy at the house. He plays by the rules, does what he wants to. And you look at a guy like Jason, you know, he's mad. He's angry. He feels like he's been cut a bad deal in the world. And we got pastors like Jason. Let me tell you something. We got dudes who get locked up. There are dudes out here. They get locked up in jail. And while they're in jail for 3-4 years, man, all they do is study the Bible. That's all they do. I mean, you got to remember this. They're in jail. They're in jail. What is? They're not going to let them do anything else. They don't have to study biblical stuff, but I'm saying that's all they're pretty much going to do. They'll sit in that jailhouse for 3 years reading that Bible. They'll read that Bible once, twice, 3 times. And they'll come out of that jailhouse speaking in scriptures. Now, have they changed? No. But they know the word, and they use that to manipulate other people. So pastors like that, when I look at a Jason Whitlock and I see him bringing up the biblical and stuff, but you have to practice that stuff, man. You have to practice that faith. You got to put that in practice. And if you put that in practice, you don't sit around and lust after women, like just lust on women. That's nothing biblical about that. You don't look at a woman and then you draw her in the sense you and her in bed. That ain't how, not from a biblical standpoint. That's the whole point of understanding the word. It prevents you and it stops you before you even go down that rabbit hole. That's what I'm saying. And we keep seeing this. We see this with All of these fake conservatives, they're basically liberals. They certainly live like liberals. They behave like liberals, but they claim to be conservatives. And now they're claiming to be a conservative Christian. This guy's a goddamn liberal. And we see Nick Cannon has pulled that video down. He let Amber Rose act the fool. And she got something going on with her. It's deeper than that. There's a racial thing with her. It's deeper than that. The most of the guys that quote the Bible and use the Bible on you, yeah. Yeah, ain't that something? Yeah. Some of them. Some of them, yes, some guys are reading the word and they don't believe in it. And this reminds me of they only question the qualifications of black people. So because Jalen Hurts has an all-female management team, some kind of way they're not able to do the job. Well, what about Aaron Rodgers? What about his management team? What about Dak Prescott? What about Kyler Murray's? What about all of these NFL quarterbacks? They have a management team. They have an agent. Lamar Jackson's mother is his agent. But some kind of way, Jalen Hurts, his all-female management staff, quote unquote, are not qualified. And he said the grounds is they're attractive. Which I mean, you got to go talk to him about that. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what that means because they're attractive. So that means they can't do their job. So if I get on a plane and I see a attractive pilot, attractive female pilot, that means she can't fly the plane? Why? Because she's attractive? So if I get on the plane and the stewardess is ugly, does that mean she can't hand me a Coke and peanuts? And the thing about, like I said, this is a young man's conversation. The thing about, he's too old to even be thinking like this. He's too old to even be talking like this. He's too the conversation just it's just a dumb conversation. Yeah, you don't want to be a thirst bucket, man. And what you have to do as a man, you're a grown man. The man's worth $1 million. Go talk to your pastor, man. They'll find you a wife. Start spending some of that money, man. These pastors, they'll hook you up. That pastor start going through that congregation, he'll be like, Miss Tina, your husband passed away 5 years ago. Miss Tina, you still single, right? You're a God-fearing woman, right? You still got 2 boys you're trying to raise. Miss Tina, look, I have a guy. Now, you got to pray with me, Miss Tina. You got to pray with me. Hold my hand, Miss Tina. Hold my hand. I have a man who's financially able, used to work in sports, says he's committed to the Lord, and I want to bring him to you. But you got to pray with me. Hold up. Let's pray together. Hold my hand. Pray with me. Let me pray. Let's pray. He going to quote a couple of scriptures. He going to say, now, this is what you got to do. Yes, Pastor. You can't judge him by what he looks like. That's a good man. Hold my hand again and let's pray some more. And I'm going to be with you the whole time, sister. Just stay with me. Let me tell you something, brother. Them pastors to get to work, they'll find him a woman. He wouldn't run around here thirsty like he's being a thirst bucket. Sounds like it. So he peaked at 13. But then a lot of times it's an interpretation. He's trying to make a red pill assessment. And I can get that. He believes that some kind of way that Jalen Hurts has a woke management team, right? But I don't know what he's going by because he can't, other than them being women, the only thing he can come up with is they look good. He's using that as some type of grounds to judge them. But there's other men out there like that, man. That's why as a man, you got to get your stuff together, man. You do not want to be lumped into that same group of Jason Whitlock. Because a lot of times, because we're men, right? A lot of us are men, but a lot of times women will falsely claim all men, but they're talking about a particular type of man. You don't want to get lumped into that group, man, because that group he's in is ridiculous, man. I mean, you're almost reduced to looking at the Flintstones. You know, you so thirsty for women that you're looking at the Flintstones because you can't control yourself. And that's a problem. Like the stream, man. Support the platform. Hit the Cash App. Hit the Super Chat. We got the join link posted, man. We'll take your thoughts. It's Friday. We're turning the corner. Gas prices are ridiculous. It's hurting. A lot of people are hurting now. Long lines at the airports. He said Tiana Trump is single now. Okay. Okay. Tiana Trump's single. What's up with you, Joey?
What up, Platt?
What's up?
Ain't Jason a church boy though, Platt?
He says he is.
He should have been married. What's the holdup?
No, now I don't know. He could be though. He's established. He's older, and he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. I don't know. Yeah, it's like to me that if that's what he wanted, he would try to. It would probably take effort, but it would take. He could get that done.
Yeah, but it just seemed like he keeps lusting over the women that's not in his realm. I don't understand this guy. Like, and then he act like he can't control himself. Like, it's giving weirdo vibes, Platt. And I don't understand why these guys thinking that sound cool. Him, Cam, it's somebody else that says, "Oh, I can't work around attractive women. I just can't." Like, you can't control yourself, bro. Like, you can't conduct yourself as especially when you handling business and you around attractive women. You can't conduct yourself. It sounds weird.
But Joey, what I don't understand is, okay, there she is. She's extremely attractive. You're very attracted to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're around her. You work with her. You see her all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You also see her when she leaves, goes with her man, living her life.
Mm-hmm.
Work with her. You work with other women. She does. You have to get that report. She hands the report. You're attracted to her. I don't get where he's getting this. Why would it matter if you're attracted to her? That's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, she's attractive. Why would that matter? It's like, man, hey, if she's ugly, you got to go get the report, right? Okay, so but she's pretty. So what difference does it make?
You still got to conduct yourself.
At the end of the day, she's not with you. So that's the thing that's important, right? So she's not with you. She's with somebody else, or maybe she's single. But the thing about it is to judge her, and this is what people. A lot of people have lost it. If you would say, man, that chick is ugly, I don't like her, I got to go pick the report up from her, and I don't like her, that's judgment, right?
Yeah.
But then to say that she's pretty and you want to pick the report up, but because she's pretty, she needs to or has to date you. And when she says she's not interested, that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous, man. Because why does she have to? I can see you making a play, but why does she have to date you?
He got that porn scene mentality, Platt. Like most of these guys think like, oh, you work in the office, or it's like playing a scene, and they just think like, oh, well, she gonna give me some cutties. We gonna, you know what I'm saying, play out a scene. Like it don't work that way, good brother. It doesn't. It's okay. You're not an attractive man, and that's okay. But at the same time, you there to handle business. And my thing is, you can't control yourself. Like, and to be honest though, Platt, and I don't want to sound nothing like that, but it is kind of sounding predatory. Like, damn, bro, you can't control your hormones at the age you is to work around attractive women. You ain't never in your life been around attractive women. You ain't never dealt with attractive women, which we understand, because when you was up there talking about whoever her name is, talking about milk chocolate boobies and all that, like, come on, bro. It just give out 40-year-old virgin vibes. That's all I'm saying. Like, come on, Whitlock. You ain't never touched nothing.
But see, as a man, though, it is his responsibility to take care of his needs. He's a grown man. It's not to sit there in the wings and stay single all through your like from 30 to 60, you stay single because you have some belief that Cinderella is going to be dropped into your lap out of the clouds. You're a grown man. If you desire women to the point where it's becoming problematic, you need to solve your problems. Oh, well, none of the women that I asked to go out with me would go out with me. Well, then you need to leave them alone. Stop thinking about them. Stop thinking about not having them. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, then why don't you need to spend some of that money? For you, it's going to be a different path. No, you can't do like other men. You're going to have to spend money. You have to give them some money so that you can get a piece of a relationship, and maybe you won't be so damn thirsty.
But what women would take him serious, Platt, if he even talking the way he talking? Like, she gonna look at him crazy. Like, look at this weirdo. He don't even know how to conduct himself around other women. So why should I take this dude serious? Same thing with Cam. Like, dudes, what are y'all talking about? Y'all can't just understand women.
Well, I don't know about marrying Cam, but I don't know why a woman would want to marry him. But
well, he ain't get married. He said he ain't get married.
Well, I don't even know why a woman would want to marry him. He's got 8 baby mamas and a bunch of kids, and he's out of the NFL. Yeah, he's a thirst bucket.
Oh no, you know what we say, like, you ain't a real one until you turn down some of JJ, bro. And
you're right, but I'm saying Cam's a thirst bucket. Man, look, women know who thirst. Look, man,
you ain't lying.
Look, if you out here really, I'm talking about you dating for marriage, you dating in a serious way, you trying to get to know this person. They know the difference between a man like that and a thirst bucket. Now, that's fine, you're a thirst bucket, but the thing about it, you need to find you a woman. That's the worst thing you could be, is a thirst bucket with no woman. You could be a thirst bucket, you got a whole bunch of women.
Yep. And you could be an attractive dude,
Yeah,
quote
but
unquote, what the women call, and still be a thirsty nigga.
if you're going to be a single man, like they said, incel, if you're going to be an incel, don't be a thirst bucket. Just be an incel. Simple as that. Because they don't work. That's what he was saying. The predatory, that's why it don't work. Because then you give off uncomfortable. Women start to feel uncomfortable around you. The way you're looking at them, the way you're sitting there, fantasizing and stuff, just makes them feel uncomfortable.
And I guess they want to sound cool, play with the whole I can't work around attractive women. I'm gonna try to do something like I don't know. These dudes, it's a new group of guys we got out here today, man. I don't know. They just think they sound cool saying certain things like, she better give me something. If you work for me, I can't work with a chick without not getting nothing. Like, come on, bro. Come on,
That's a
man.
lawsuit. Now they'd have to prove it, but that's a lawsuit. You can't have a business and you discriminate women. And actually, when a woman works for you, you have to really leave her alone. Even if you guys were dating casually, now that she's if I'm Jalen Hurts and I'm dating one of the women that is a part of my management team, but before she was a part of my management team, we were going out, we were smashing, we were having fun. Once I hire her officially, especially the type of money he makes, we can't date.
Yeah.
Because now she works for me, and all of that falls under what the EEOC and all of that stuff. And I'm a man, she's a woman. You have to be real careful with that. That's what I'm saying. So you would have to leave that alone. Now, you can keep dating her if you're going to marry her and she can work for you because she's married to you. But if you guys are going to be in and out of relationship having fun, you can't hire her. And you can tell her that, so I can't hire you because I'm dating you. I have to find somebody else, but we can still date. But no, I can't hire you. The other women could sue him for harassment if he's showing all types of favoritism and stuff, because they're all on the same job. They're all doing different jobs, but they all work for him.
Yeah,
and hold up. This is the real world, Joey. We come on this YouTube, and a lot of these Negroes think they shooting basketball in the park. And they talk like that, like they doing pickup games in the park when it comes to women. The woman gonna do this. Look, that's easier said than done, because like I said, this is a Jalen Hurts, he's a franchise. Those are the type of jobs you want to keep as long as he's in the NFL, and during that process, maybe you get the next Eagles quarterback who comes in and you become his social media manager because of the experience you got, and you get you a nice little 25-year run, and you're adjacent to the NFL the entire time. And you go to all the parties, all the Super Bowl, you do all the stuff because you do some type of management team work for one of the players or a couple of the players. But then they turn around and say, we got to fire you because you're pretty or you're attractive. That's ridiculous. He's saying that the attractiveness of the women is throwing Jalen Hurts' focus off.
No, it's not. That's bullshit. And he's all about Jalen hired women because he's about women rights and and pro woman. But that ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, come on, bro. He just finding ways to just trying to just find ways to justify why he think the way he think. But that's a lot of these guys. They start talking and they just be like, my word is the final word. Like, no, it's not, Jason Will. You sound corny and you sound weird and perverted. And I guess nobody around him gonna tell him because they just like, man, we know how he is. Because me personally, I wouldn't have a family member, anybody work around him. And any female, I say what you want about me. I don't care, Joey's sisterhood. He sound like a weirdo. I don't want no women working around a weirdo like that. That's just me. If she attractive, he's gonna try to do something or try to make passes at her. If anything, I would tell her, go ahead. Let's get some paper out this dummy.
But as a man, right, as a man, you're living your life, whether you're single or incel, divorced, you're living your life, man. And attractive women are going to be in and out of your life. But that doesn't mean because they're attractive that they're there to fulfill the void in your life. And a man, every man has to understand that, man. Big butts, pretty faces. Hell, a lot of them have that. But that could be one of the most dysfunctional employees working for you. That could be the one starting everything. It's her. But what you're not gonna fire her. You're not going to write her up because she's attractive. Yeah, that makes you a bad manager. That makes you a horrible manager. And that's basically what Jason is saying. It's ridiculous, man. And another thing, unearned compliments. Why are you giving all these women all these unearned? Those women don't know you, man. And they have men in their lives. They don't need your compliments. That's what I don't get. And that's when you can tell a lot of these dudes are not player, man.
They ain't never been in a position of power. Most of these guys ain't never been in a position where even when they the man, they at the top of their career, they getting money. You know what I'm saying? They just think like, oh, she better give me some cookies. She better go out with me. She better go out on a date. She better, because I'm that nigga. Nah, you'd be surprised. Chicks be turning down niggas too. All that. That's why, no disrespect to Kev, all that high value stuff. Why all them dudes that was high value kept coming to him? They wasn't getting with women. A lot of dudes, you'd be surprised. You think that money gonna subject you being a cornball? No, you lack everything else. You have no character. You have no personality. All you got is your money. Whoop-de-doo. And guess what? She gonna finesse you. And you a goofy.
Yeah, and a lot of the dudes who hid behind Kevin, and you see him. A lot of dudes who hid behind Kevin, that money don't work, man. All of that, I got a lot of money. Women won't. Yeah, a lot of those women, they're on Kendra G platform right now. 8 kids, 4 different men, 40 years old, looking for a $800,000 a year man. A lot of that stuff, and a lot of them got what they deserve. And now Jason Williams is last time I looked at it, says worth $7 million. He ain't got no woman. I thought the money matters. I thought money matters. I mean, Kevin said that high value men are in demand. Okay, there goes Jason Whitlock. Why is he thirsty for women that management team of Jalen Hurts? When all you gotta do is go on Instagram. There's plenty of women his age, whenever, however he wants. Plenty of women on Instagram, TikTok. Plenty of women on TikTok. Don't they have what they got? A Facebook singles.
Yep.
They got all the social media. Instagram got a singles.
I know. I just seen. I seen Facebook for what I heard. I ain't on there, but yeah, they got like a little singles thing. And they got something for guys that they can verify themselves, the guys that make good money and they trying to find a woman or whatever. I forgot what dating site it is, but it's a site for that. But they verify their income and the type of woman they want, and they go in there and do their thing. But still, like, I don't know. I thought getting money, you being a high value man, the world is your oyster, but I guess not.
Well, it's never been like that though. Even when Kevin put that out, it wasn't like that. It's never been like that. I mean, yeah, you got money for them to take, but what's more valuable, his money or desire? That's the most important. If that woman desires you, that's worth way more than money. Giving her money and stuff, okay, that's cool. Considering, yeah, I mean, the woman would be like, okay, compared to all these other dudes, this guy, they all pretty much the same, but this guy, he does a lot for me financially and stuff. But the men I'm dating are all pretty much the same. So yeah, you might stand out like that. But the one she desires, who doesn't give her hardly anything, she's gonna go with her heart. Her heart desires him, not you. And it goes against a lot of people's ego. They don't want to hear that. And a lot of these dudes was getting their head blown up because they was thinking because they got some bread, women want them. And a lot of these dudes, I saw them back doing Kevin. I saw them. They still single. But I saw them walking around with their heads in there. Oh, man, I'm a high value man. And it did work. But then again, you know, people want to hear what they want to hear, man. They don't want to hear the truth. Well, hold up, Joey. Hold up. We got Truth Teller. Go ahead, Truth.
What up, Truth? You on mute, Truth.
No, he unmuted. We can't hear you, Truth. Something going on with your mic, Truth. We can't hear you. Yeah, go ahead, TGP.
Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to come on. Yeah, I just want to come on topic really quick. Well, first of all, I agree with you said, Platt, and Jason Whitlock does need to mind his own business. That's pretty straightforward. You don't need to be commenting on what another man is doing. And just for the sake of for conversation, I like your channel. We try to learn here. So I think there is something that could possibly we can learn, that he was trying to make a point in the sense of like the Michigan coach, how he lost his job. I'm sure if he ever gets a coaching job ever again, we would hope that he learned his lesson and he won't be hiring staff that he's messing around with. And to the point where I hope even his wife does a couple more bring wife to work days so she can see what's on his staff.
Yo, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
No, you sound, but go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna say, he's a loser. This dude. I work corporate America. There are very attractive women all around me. I literally have attractive women on my team. When I'm at work, I don't see none of that. Because I ain't getting locked up or fired because I'm thirsty. So I don't see none of that. I don't even interact. I try my best not even interact with them personally. Like I tell dry jokes on purpose. I talk about my family on purpose. I'm not even trying to give them the inclination that I have any interest in them whatsoever at the job. I don't care how pretty they are, what they doing. You can't mess up my goals and my purpose for what I got popping. I don't care how fine you is. And him, I'm just have to say, he's an actual incel. This is what an incel look like. Like money don't change it, status don't change it. None of the stuff that you would think that a man could gain to help him improve his chances with women will work with dudes like this. He is an actual incel. He's a guy who can't even get a working girl, a professional, to act like she likes him. That's bad. That's real bad. If you can't get a chick that accepts money to perform a certain way for you, to actually do that when accepting your money. And I don't even know why he's talking. He's too old not to be married. He's too old not to have kids. His status is too high to still be talking like a junior high school boy. This is crazy. He's talking like a kid, not even high school. He's talking like somebody in junior high school that don't have no experience with girls.
Hey, Truth, what was he? Who was the woman he was talking about? Talking about the caramel skin and boobies and all. I forgot. Who was he talking about?
I forgot who he's talking about. I do remember that.
Joy Taylor. Oh, Joy Taylor.
It was Joy. See, she ain't even not. Listen, man. Whatever. Listen, look at him, man. And he acts funny in other ways too. Aside from women, he say crazy stuff. He say crazy stuff about black people. He say crazy stuff about society. He says crazy stuff about politics. He's completely off. He's one of those people that don't fit in nowhere, right? He was an odd kid in school that just didn't fit in with no other group. He just had to be alone. And it's clear he spent too much time alone because listen how he talks. He's almost, look, I'm saying he's almost 60 years old. What do you mean you can't be in a workplace near attractive women? So what have you been doing all these years, player? He works, what does he work for now? But before he worked for ESPN. ESPN got attractive chicks rolling around the office. So you telling me you couldn't work in the office? You had to be remote?
He trying to sound cool.
He trying to keep, they gotta keep you away from the normal employees because you're the weirdo.
And you in this society though, you really can't. For a man, that's a horrible way to think that if a woman is attractive. Now, I mean, if a guy talking about he don't want to be Me Too'd and lied on, okay, I understand that. But for a guy to say I don't want to work around attractive women because I can't control myself, that's not the way you approach life as a grown man. That's a horrible way to think because that plays into a lot of negatives about men. And that's what I'm saying. You want to talk about bending a knee. This dude literally bent a complete knee to women when he said that stuff about how that woman, the woman that's on Jalen Hurts' management team is so fine and he got to be with her. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Do you know that woman, man? I don't know if it's smart because I'm saying he has over like 2 million followers. I don't know if it's smart to even be saying that about Jalen Hurts, the women on there, because they're not even presenting themselves in that way. They're not thotting it up.
They businesswoman.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So as a man, you try to tell me a woman who has a law firm, who has a card that says, call my law firm for any legal issues you have. She's got on a business suit, that I'm supposed to sexualize her because she's a woman. Okay. Well, I'm gonna sexualize. Well, why don't I go on Instagram? There are women all on Instagram who want you to do it. Why would I do it to somebody? That woman don't want me to sexualize her, objectify her. And that's, to me, at his age, I'm like, you don't understand that, bro. You got to be joking. You don't understand that. And I don't think he does.
He don't.
Honestly, I think I'm kind of glad he's out here talking like this because we have to see examples of men that you shouldn't be like. We got to see it, man, publicly. We got to see embarrassments like this. And he's just up here, he's talking like what he's saying makes sense. Like everything he's saying is actually true because it's been proven. And every day what he says every day reality proves that he's wrong, but he's still saying it.
And you know what else I had noticed too, Platt, on some real talk? Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys is just so, I don't know if it's they just grew up socially awkward. They can't read the room, especially how, and that's why I do try to give guys a little bit of lead, like guys like Jason Whitlock, not so much a leeway, but I try to listen to them because they need somebody there to tell them, like, no, bro, that's not how you talk about women. That's not how you're supposed to handle. You know what I'm saying? You try to get to know a woman. You got to reel it back some. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have the same experience that we do. And I always say that. But a lot of times they don't be around guys or friends that can tell them, hey, bro, you sound corny. You sound weird. You're going down predatory lane a little bit, talking about women you can't work around if they're attractive. Reel it back some. Guys like Jalen Hurts, his whole life, women have been attracted to that young man. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. I went to an Eagles game. I seen a whole row of women with number 1 jerseys on, screaming at that man.
I think that Jason's not being honest. I think that has a lot to do with him going after Jalen Hurts.
Oh, you sneak dissing.
Yeah, I think that has to do with his success with women as opposed to his success, Jason's success with women.
That's a good point, Platt.
And the fact that he actually got married and is holding to it. I think that bothers Whitlock because if he can have all these women who are attracted to him and publicly voicing it, but he's like, nah, I got my wife, I'm good. And Whitlock over here got I don't know air, and he doesn't have anybody trying to be enamored with him. He doesn't have anybody trying to get with him, and he's probably never had anyone who took serious interest in him. So he's just hating now.
You think he trying to live vicariously through Jalen
I think
a little
he's
bit?
hating because he got the life he wants. I think he's outright hating, but he doesn't want to be that direct. He's gonna slide this on him. I think he's gonna continue too. I don't think this is the last time we hear about this.
Black man married to a black woman, champion. Yeah, that'll make a nigga get mad.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot to hate on, but I mean if you were doing your thing, you really can't hate. You could just say, applaud my man for his success. I got my own little success over here, so we good.
Shit, he hate on LeBron.
That ain't. He hate on LeBron for weird stuff. I ain't gonna say. I was about to say something, but he has some weird psychological problem with males. I don't know what it is, but he gonna have to get some therapy for that. It's really weird.
But as a man, you can't look at women like that. There's a lot of attractive women out there, and as a man, you just have to accept they don't want you. Now, okay, I get that as a man, a lot of men don't want to deal with that. I get that. But what else are you going to do? Are you going to go lose your job? Okay, she likes him. She don't like you. What are you going to do? Lose your job? Don't you got bills to pay and you got a life to live? And that's what I'm saying. And to me, that's what it sounds like to me. It's like, why are you so concerned with Jalen Hurts? Okay, his agent is a woman. Okay, he wants to have a team of women. Why do you have a problem with that? Oh, that's why he ain't playing well. Well, you mean the team's not responsible? You mean the quarterback coach ain't responsible? The coach ain't responsible? That's why he's not playing well, because he's got a management team of women. So it's the women's fault. What about Aaron Rodgers? He didn't play well. Do you blame his agent? Do you blame his manager? Do you blame his staff? That's what I'm saying. What about the other quarterbacks that didn't play well? Do you blame them, or you only gonna blame his because he got a bunch of women that he hired to do a job?
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, Pratt. Can't lie. You gotta keep that same energy with the other guys that wasn't performing at their best.
Why would Jason Whitlock? Why don't he hire some women too? I don't understand why he hating. Why don't he just go ahead and hire a group of women himself? I'm sure he got a staff. Can't he? So I'm looking for some suitable, some capable women for some jobs.
I worked in a nightclub and a strip club, and I'm telling you, attractive women, right? You can't press them like that, man. You can't press them because they're attractive. They either want you or they don't. If they don't,
yes,
maybe you need to quit. Maybe you need to quit, because they're gonna live their lives, bro. They're not gonna cut you no slack. They know you thirsty. They know you want them. That don't mean they're gonna take it easy. They're gonna do what they want to do and live their life, and you just out of the fold. They don't want you, and the only thing you can do is just accept that and move on. And that's, to me, that's what Jason is struggling with. And then if you thirsty after managers and stuff like that and agents and stuff, man, you need to go outside. You need to go to the club or something, man. You got to go to the club, man.
Why don't he go to where oddball women go? I don't know.
Well, he needs to.
Just go where the oddballs hang out and frolic with the oddballs. You oddball, they oddball, get together.
He needs to go to a revival, man. He needs to go to a Christian revival, 4-5 days.
That will work. Yeah.
Jason Whitlock looked like the type of dude that eat a goddamn steak sandwich in the house and watch Madlock all day and
Your mama
Right.
used to watch Whitlock.
He ain't out there, bro. He ain't that type of dude. But
Oh,
he don't even give you the vibe like, yo, all right, well, let's hit the city real quick. Jason, let's check out some bunnies. Let's go to a bar or something. He just be
yeah,
in there
he's not.
hating. He be in there hating on the dudes that's getting at the women. Like, I don't want to be around no nigga
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I've
you
been around a
become
dude
you,
like
you
that.
get bitter. You get bitter. So that's
Yeah.
what guys like Jason, they back up and they just sit around, they sort of quiet,
It's crazy.
and then he's gonna get bitter because, like I said, those women sleep with who they want to. He's trying to ascribe a logic to it. He's trying to look at it and say, well, why not me?
Right.
I'm rich. I go to church. I'm a nice dude. I'm gonna treat you right. Yet she wants to be the fifth wheel on another dude's rotation, who's not what Jason says is his equivalent. You can't do that. You'll lose your mind doing. That's what has happened to him. You gotta let. They're gonna sleep who they want to. And the same thing, he don't realize it because he doesn't go out enough. There are women out there who actually like him, but he's just not out there enough to know that. They'll like whatever that thing that he is, that frame and the way he cares. They'll mess with him the same way. He's just not around them.
I don't think he want them type of women, Platt. That's how it is out here. The guys that's supposed to be in their own lane dealing with them type of women. She might be a little heavy set. She might got a little
Yeah,
franks on the
yeah.
back of her neck. You know what I'm saying? She a big
Moles. She might
girl.
have some moles. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his lane.
Mm.
That's his lane. But he don't want that because you see how he keep talking about the attractive women. He fantasizes, and that's damn near
You
like
want
the
the
incels.
the lunch
He wants
lady
to.
types.
No.
This
Yeah,
the
that's
suit,
him.
not the fine lunch ladies, because there's some fine lunch ladies, but the
Yeah,
real big
not
ones.
them. He said that's a foul.
The
Ain't talking about
lunch lady next.
this one lunch lady I had back when I was in high school. She had she had a
I,
turkey. That
I had a
butt, her,
Spanish teacher that was
ooh,
like that.
and
Spanish
she
teacher was fine. Damn.
and she had the Holly Berry cut. I love that short hair, boy.
She did too. The Spanish teacher I had a Holly
Woo!
Berry cut. Yeah, man.
Let me tell you something, man. And men, you guys, you'll be surprised who likes you in a nightclub or just if you get out. You'll be surprised.
Yeah,
You
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 will. Yeah.
really don't understand because, like I said, just like you may think, "Hey, I'm a great catch. Why doesn't this particular woman want to give me her number or get to know me?" Stay out there long enough. It's gonna be women who are coming up to you. It's gonna be women who are gonna receive you.
Yep.
And other guys, that same guy, the Pookie or the same guy is gonna be like, why she like him? Look at that, look at how fat that dude is. Look at how he dressed. But that's what she likes.
That's what she like.
And I know y'all have all done this, but we've all been on a solo run, right? Ain't nothing popping. You're like, man, let me go out and see what's going on out here. Your boys ain't with you, they all doing whatever they do. And you're like, you know what, I'm gonna just go kick it somewhere. And you go kick it somewhere solo and it just be popping off for you. I've had that happen several times. Just the chicks is starting conversations with me. I had a couple times when someone bought me drinks. I'm just sitting at the bar by myself or walking up, chit chatting, and it just works out. He'll never experience that. Because first of all, he ain't going nowhere, and two, he ain't personable enough to do nothing like that. So he's just gonna be stuck and bitter and angry.
It's gonna do. See, but that's what I'm saying with like most older guys. There is a group of older women for you, bro, and they just waiting there for you. But most of these older dudes, they stuck in their ways, and like Jason, they just be watching the younger dudes that ain't really pressed over women. Please believe
Right.
me, Jalen Hurts is not pressed over.
No, he's at all. At all. He's not at all.
I've seen it. So when you see them older guys be watching, that's low key kind of hating too, if you think about it. Like Platt just said, like a lot of them dudes that don't get the rhythm, especially when you out and about and you at a bar or a function and they see this one guy, the women attracted to him. I've been on that. I ain't gonna act like I'm Chris Brown or Usher or nothing, but I have women that attract to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm handsome, kind of tall, smell good, dress nice. You know what I'm saying? Women are gonna attract to me, and I got a nice little personality. I can make them laugh, have a good time, make them kick their feet. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time. But most men don't know how to just orchestrate and just chill and relax. They just got to do the most or make themselves seem like they more. You ever seen a dude that do the most? Just gotta say the most outlandish things or make himself seem like he more than what he. That's kind of Jason Whitlock. Like, bro, just relax.
They
Chill.
either like you or they don't, man. And guys take it too. That's one of the things when you talk about relationships. Stop taking that stuff so personal. Even rejection, even betrayal. Stop internalizing that stuff, man. It just happened, man. It's just the way it is. Stop trying to figure it out. There ain't nothing to figure out.
Yep.
Whatever y'all had, it's just not there. It was, you had something. And this is the thing. You do have to accept it. Hey, man, we had some stuff. We had fire burning. Me and her, we were together. We were talking about getting married. And then just like over a period of month, man, we just fell apart. And then boom, I came home. She was gone. And stop taking that stuff so personal and start looking at an indictment of your personality. No, it's not. If anything, it's an indictment of hers. But see, the thing about Jason is he compliments. This is the worst thing as a man, listen, ain't nothing wrong with complimenting a woman, but don't give out unearned compliments because it makes you look weak. You look real weak as a man doing that. They don't have to tell the beautiful woman that you work with, you don't have to go and compliment that woman. I mean, she looked like she looked. You have to shower her with compliments. It makes you look weak.
She hear it all the time. Hey, beautiful. You so pretty.
Yeah, they don't even like that. They don't even like hearing that because they don't believe any of it. It's like, whatever, you just want to smash, which is true.
Did you see Joey Taylor after he did all that compliments, peanut butter and attractive and all of that, and she turned around and said that negative stuff about him?
Yeah, you basically called him a weirdo.
Yeah, you don't. That's why you don't do that, man. I mean, and it wasn't even necessary for him to say that about her. And then he was the only one that wasn't getting laid. All those women were down there smashing the people who worked at Sports, Fox Sports. He was the only one not getting laid.
He was the only one complimented.
I wonder why. And I wonder why. He would have been running around the whole goddamn station. Yeah, I have a relationship with Joy.
Yeah, he would have said it. He would have been talking. Yeah, he would have.
I had a piece of that chocolate cake. Like, they know when a cornball just be running his mouth.
They won't sleep with you.
They
not.
They
know you're gonna put all their bit. If they sleep with you, you're gonna catch feelings. You're gonna start harassing. You're gonna be all up in her face.
Yep.
You're gonna be trying to bring flowers. You're gonna be talking about marriage. They won't sleep with you. Now, if they know, that's why a lot of men don't understand. If they know you could care less, you'll smash that thing and forget about it. They'll sleep with you because they want you to forget about it. They don't want you to get caught up.
You ain't lying, Platt. It was back around.
They got a man, and maybe they broke up, and maybe they wait until things change. But they ain't looking for no relationship. But they said, they said this guy, he's a nice guy, but if I already know because I've been through that, and I work here, and I had to block my phone and all of that, I might have to get him locked up, so they won't do it.
You ain't lying, Platt. I've been through situations. I'm just thinking now, like, dealt with chicks back my old hood, my old way, and niggas ain't never knew that, me and such had a little thing. And I kept it pushing. Like, I ain't telling niggas what I did. Like, run and tell that ass niggas. Like, what they be saying, don't kiss and tell. Like, I live by that. Yeah, but my thing is, grown men that really deal with women, we don't even gotta talk like that. Like, we at a certain point in life. Like, come on, bro.
That's the other thing. He's like, oh, I mean, you have a career, you're old, you made some money. Why he's even talking about this? And then why is he even talking like this? It's weird.
It's low key. He low key hating on Jalen Hurts, bro.
If that man want to put together a team full of women, hey, he's paying them. Let him go. I mean, I don't get it, man.
I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to be a hypocrite and judge those women, but I have to because of Jason brought it up. Those women are not no 10s. Them women like 4s and 5s.
They like regular
Yeah,
women though, to be
Yeah.
honest.
they're capable at their job. It has nothing to do with their looks, right? He's already married, so he's not going to hire 9s and 10s. That would
He
be
could.
suicide for his marriage. He could, but that would be problematic to his marriage. He's going to hire the capable women, and if it just so happens that one of them or two of them is attractive, oh well. But he ain't going to hire a team of dimes. First of all, most of the time, dimes ain't going to be capable. That's the first problem. So, you know what I mean? So this is just a weird talking point to bring up, unless you want to spread the hate.
Sometimes, like customer service, right? While I'm standing in line, say it's about 15 people, or to pay like your utility bill or something where it's a line, right? Not checkout, but something like customer service where they got to, can I help you? They got to deal with your whatever issue you got. Then they got to take the item, well, that type or whatever, or something you're trying to do. I deliberately sit to the back, and if there's an attractive woman, I deliberately be watching because I'll be looking at the person at the desk, and I'll be looking at her, and I said now he sees her. He sees her. She's one back, right? And I'll see. Okay, I want to see if he's gonna greet them both the same. And yeah, I watch it, man, and then it's a noticeable difference. It's a completely noticeable difference. So it matters, man. We're a very superficial society. Just more tolerance, more patience based on their appearance. Attractive person is not going to get rushed away from the desk. Attractive person is going to get more attention paid to their issues. And even the people in the line are more patient with how long it takes. When a person is unattractive, there is no patience. They almost say, go stand to the side. He said, well, I don't have my license plate. It's out in the parking lot. You need to get back in line, then go to the parking lot. So we it's like that, but what he's talking about, I don't even understand it. This is more just an attack on Jalen Hurts, period. He don't like Jalen Hurts. And he's literally making stuff up about this brother.
Clyde, did he say? He said it was a bad idea to do it because men can't control themselves. Is he trying to put that on Jalen Hurts, or is he saying he can't do it, or maybe he's saying both? How is he?
He's saying that the women, the attractiveness of the women is affecting Jalen Hurts' play on the field. And he was saying that anytime a man has to deal with attractive women on the phone, going over his business, that he's going to have in his mind fantasies of being with those women. And he's saying that that's messing with Jalen Hurts' ability to play football, which is absurd.
Isn't that what every single pro athlete from every level faces? So
Well, I don't know if they all have all female management staffs.
Well, no, but they have access to females no matter what level of pro athletics they're in. Whether it's on their staff or whether they meeting up with them at night, whether they getting them food, whether they messing with cheerleaders or messing with side chicks, they all gonna have access to attractive women. So how in the hell is it just Jalen Hurts who can't play ball because he's around attractive women? Aren't all pro athletes around attractive women? A lot.
There is I think in the contract, you can't deal with the cheerleaders. And what do? They don't punish you, they punish the cheerleader. So if she sleeps with you or she's dating you, she'll lose her job. Yeah, she'll lose her job on that team. I think if they do it twice, they get rid of them altogether.
Oh, they get a two attempt option.
Something like that. No, I'm just saying that the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, if you sleeping with one and it's going to get out either the girl's tail or the team tails, they're not gonna punish you. They're gonna get rid of her.
Yeah, you bringing the money, so yeah, we can't give her to you, but she's just a cheerleader. We can. He can replace her right easy.
And Jason's talking about those women that work for Jalen Hurts. Has he ever seen the University of Alabama? You know what? A lot of people, in my opinion, just like I say, Florida State, University of Florida, you need to go to these colleges, man, and you need to see the students who are going through getting ready to graduate. You need to go through there, getting their masters. You got to get out of. You keep going to all these chicken wing joints and seeing these chicks with 4 kids and a fatty stomach. What they said, an oatmeal cake stomach, and the body is not, they haven't been exercising. You need to see what America has, man. America has tip of the spear. And I'm telling you, even with Jason's obesity and his size, he can find what he's looking for. I don't think he's looking for it, though. I think he's waiting for it to fall out the sky.
Actually, I think what he's looking for, he can't manage, right? I think the type of women he's looking for, like the chick he was describing, what's her name, who's getting with everybody. That's who he's looking for, which is weird. He's supposed to be.
His preference is white women. His preference is white women.
But that's not hard for him to pick up.
Well, you would think, a rich black man looking for a white woman. It's actually more single white women than single black women.
Black women, exactly.
Yeah, and he's in America, and they really tear down them dating apps. Mm-hmm. White women, especially white women with kids. And then we know our society, how racial it is. White women are not, we talk about baby mamas are not desired, right? Well, they're not that desired in the white community. So, and you got Jason he's thirsty for white women. Like I said, it don't make sense with his money. Seems like to me, he should be able to solve that problem.
So it's clear something's up with him. It's not the circumstances he in. It's who he is. That's the problem. Because, listen, he can even passport bro it and go to Switzerland or something and pick something up if that's his cup of tea. How is this dude out here floating around? He's never been partnered with anybody, and all he do is he hates on black women more than anything. So I guess they did him dirty, his eyeball ass, when he's growing up. He just can't let it go. Because the opportunities are there. The Midwest, we don't even got to talk about either coast, right? Eastern Seaboard or West. We don't even got to talk about that. We got the whole middle. We got Canada. Hell, he can head on down to Mexico and pick him up something if he really wanted to.
Yeah, I do that before what I'm doing. What I hear him doing, I do that. I would go to Mexico. I would go overseas before I sit on a podcast thirsting after chicks. Thirsting after Jalen Hurts' management team.
He just crazy, is that the only thing he could use to criticize? Obviously, I guess, because if you saying he's not playing well, fine. But the only thing you can criticize him about not playing well is he got too many women on his staff, and that's why he's not playing well. Maybe something's happening in his family. Maybe he has an injury he hasn't reported. None of that.
We're going to take a look at it. Hold on. I'll take a look at it. Hold up. Here we go. It's crazy, but he did it. Right here.
Can we put that picture of the women back up? I'm just going to tell you about me. I can't speak for Jalen Hurts. I can't speak for all men. But when I'm surrounded by a group of women that look like that, my brain starts malfunctioning. And I start thinking about silly things that.
Yeah, and we talk all this red mill stuff and masculine man. That is the This dude is bending a knee to women. He's literally rolling out the red carpet. He just told you, an attractive woman, he can't even think straight. Isn't that the whole thing about being a man and being able to control yourself and understand what's
Jesus.
going on? And this man is submitting. You want to talk about bending the knee? This man is,
Yeah, I'm afraid
yeah,
you're right.
laying all his cards on the table. And this is weak, but here we go.
Are unrelated to business. Chantel Romaine would just have my mind off in crazy places. Rachel Everett, Nicole Lynn, the whole group of them. You know, Chantel's at the top of the food chain there, but I could not properly focus. I wouldn't be in the right mindset if I'm on the phone and this is the group of people that I'm constantly talking about my situation with. It just, my mind would drift. I'm in a realer place than, because I know there's some of y'all listening. Well, that ain't me. You know, I'm perfectly, I'm the most righteous man in the world, and I it doesn't bother me. These women, I'm never distracted. You're lying.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. It's not even
Why
about
he,
being distracted. It's like,
why he skipped over Shakima Platt? Why he skipped over
I
Shakima?
don't know. They probably don't like it, but I'm just saying he's thirsting for women and throwing out compliments and stuff. And that's wow, man. And he's a multimillionaire. Remember that. I want all these guys to understand all this stuff about high value man and money. He's a multimillionaire. And he ain't got a woman. And he likes white women. And he's pressed that he's looking at this Jalen Hurts management team making commentary about it. As if Hurts got a management team, so does Adrian Rogers has a management. Shador Sanders has a management team. I mean, what does that have to do with anything? They all got teams, whether it's men or women. They all got teams. And like the woman said in the chat, what if the guys in the team, some of the guys were gay? Would you then blame the team because Adrian Rogers can't play? He's not playing well, or it's because he hired some gay guys in his management team? Or if he hires women, then the women affect his play, which is ridiculous. We're not agreeing with that. That's absurd. But he's the one saying that. And he's the one who's convinced that some kind of way we all share his sentiments. And that's just not true. That's not true. I've worked with plenty of women. I got nowhere close to those women. As far as talking about romantic, nowhere close. Not even close to that. Those women had multiple men. I've seen them. I've seen them when they left work with the different dudes. They went with the men they wanted. They didn't desire me. I didn't take it personal. Life goes on. But I'm going to tell you one thing I didn't do is sit around showering them with compliments. I'm going to let her man do that. That's how you handle that. You let her man take care of that. You don't get involved with that. You don't interfere with that. You let her man do that. Like the stream, man. Support the platform. Hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, man. Friday, man, we got Jason Whitlock. He's up here talking about women should be unattractive so men can control themselves. These are old conversations. And the internet has introduced new conversations to the world. These are old conversations, but he decided to go down the rabbit hole. He also said that if you did not agree with him, something's not right with you. And the whole thing is not supposed to. What if you're a pastor of a church? I'm serious. What if you say God called me to preach, and you go to a church and you're assistant pastor, and then the main pastor loses his life, and they vote you in. You're now the top pastor. What do you say? I can't preach the word because 50% of the women out there are attractive. Is that what you say? Hey, I can't preach. I can't do a sermon because you older sisters, y'all be bringing your daughters in here. and she's attractive, and she's attractive, and she's attractive, and she's attractive, and you're an older sister, but you're attractive. So I can't preach. I can't preach because I can't get my head together. Because I'm gonna be thinking about something else. What if you're an EMT and they said we got an emergency call? This is the address. So you go to the address, the patient is laid out on the floor. What do? Not help her because she's attractive? Oh, she's beautiful. I can't help her. What do you mean? This woman needs help. Well, she's beautiful. You don't understand. They have an effect on me. I can't control myself. That's how absurd he sounds saying stuff like that. But this is the world we live in, bro. This is the world of YouTube. This is how we deal with each other, man. They have nothing to do with your performance on and off the field. Nothing. They never have. This is him talking. This is him making ridiculous comments. Yeah, and he's a simp. He's a simp. And this is what you get from the whole. These guys don't know how to interpret anything. They don't know how to thread the needle. They want to be hand-fed. They're like children. They don't want to be men. They're like little boys. And they want somebody to give them something. And when it comes to females, they want somebody to give them a woman. They don't want to earn a woman. They don't want to earn the support and attraction of a woman. They want to be given something. And a lot of the whole passport bro movement, right? That's what they want. They want somebody to give them something. They don't want to earn it. They just want somebody to hand them something. Give it to me. The woman is attractive. I want her. Okay, well, she's got to be attractive. I don't like that part of the conversation. She needs to be anyhow. And I told guy, I was saying it back then. I told guys it don't work that way. I said, man, that's not easy. That is not easy to be with these women just because you got some money. They'll take your money. And we see a lot of these clowns now. We hear them. They're whining about women. Somebody smashed their old lady. They're still whining about women. And a lot of them were thirsty anyhow to even get it. They was trying to control the woman. That's why they got married. That stuff ain't gonna work, man. They went out and got into a marriage because they wanted to have a woman to themselves. They knew they was ugly. They knew they was unattractive, and the woman knew it too. So the woman, when she found a dude that she likes, she slept with that dude. And you got whiny niggas running around these YouTube pages still complaining about their failed marriages. Their failed, worthless marriages. And you know, we hit a whole baby mama thing, but some of these dudes on here, they got kids. They're the male equivalent of the female baby mama. They got a bunch of kids and no woman. And a lot of them harbor a lot of bitterness. And you can see it on here. You can see it in these guys. You see them whining on panels. Bitter. A failure. And just like Jason Whitlock, they are mad. They're mad at the players. They're mad at the guys who get the women. Like the stream, man. Support the platform, man. Hit the Cash App, man. Hit the Super Chat. Hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat. What we doing, bruh? Like the stream, man. We got the join link posted, man. We'll take your thoughts. Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock is going after Jalen Hurts because he has an all-female management team. And Jason said that, hey, they're attractive, too attractive for him. And he can't handle a room of attractive women. Which makes no sense. That makes no sense. What if you're riding on a plane and you buy your ticket 2 weeks in advance and you show up at the airport and you see a woman that's extremely attractive to you, and then you get on the plane and guess who's sitting next to you for the next 3 hours? What do? Say, hey, I need to change my seat? What do you tell the plane? Hey, I can't sit next to her. I'm not going to be able to do my work. I scheduled this plane. I need to give about an hour and a half worth of work before I get to where I'm going. With her sitting here, I'm going to lose my focus. I'm not going to be able to do the job that I'm being paid to do. And they say it, they talk to these guys. These guys are stupid. And they listen to Jason Whitlock and they listen to that foolishness that comes out of his mouth. The simps. Like the stream, man. Bless the Cash App, man. Where the Super Chat at? And that's weak, man. You ain't, as a man, you ain't supposed to be going without, man. And we talk about the fat chicks. A lot of these dudes can't even get a fat chick. They can't even get that. And speaking on fat women, every time I meet one, they got 2, 3 kids. Somebody likes them quite a bit. They be tearing down Instagram too, bro. They all over Instagram. Twerking like it's going out of style. And this is the black man that's presented to conservative circles. And he's far from what a black man is, man, I'm telling you. Not even close. This is absolute foolishness. Mindless foolishness. We see Jalen Hurts. He's living his life in a way that you can present to younger people. The man went to Alabama, won him I think he won 2 national championships. Came into the NFL, been to 2 Super Bowl. He's won 1. Married his college sweetheart. They both in the same fraternity. Well, she was in the sister sorority of his fraternity. They do a lot of stuff within the fold of that fraternity. Waited till he got his big contract, got married, living his best life, working on his first kid. Family still together. His mother and father present them with a grandkid. He's living his life the right way. We never hear nothing about Jalen Hurts. We don't never hear nothing about him. He comes to practice. He goes to work. Off the field, you don't hear nothing about this guy. He's not hanging out with thugs. He's not hanging out. He's not walking around with a big chain on his neck. You hear nothing about this brother, nothing but hard work and commitment. And here you have Jason Whitlock, for no reason, attack this black young brother, this brother. Jason Whitlock attacks this brother. And the only thing he could come up with was that the women in his management team are attractive. And he suggests that men shouldn't hire attractive women. And he said, well, what if they can do the job? Well, you're going to secretly want them. Not really. I'm telling you, not really. Not really. Not really. There are plenty of women that you can want and thirst for that would love to join you in your bedroom. Why thirst for women who don't want to join you? That's what I'm saying. I don't even get to, well, why would I be thirsty for a woman that don't want to join me in my bedroom? Oh, she's not interested in you, Platt. Okay. Oh, Platt, she got about 10 boyfriends. That's her personal business. But she don't like you, Platt. Okay. Well, you gonna fire her, right? Nope. She does a good job. What's up with you, Hut? Hut says maybe that's why Jason Whitlock's never made it beyond Ball State football and had to get into journalism. Did Chase and Tail kill his football career? I don't know. I don't know, but one thing about YouTube is you see a lot of failed black men. You see a lot of that. Dudes who can't get a woman just to go out with them, man, just hang out. I'm not even talking about smashing. You saw like that guy who said the woman stood him up. He was outside on social media whining. He had went to some restaurant. He had flowers, and a woman that he met online was supposed to meet him somewhere. And he sat at that table for about 30 minutes by himself. So then he comes out and he live streams and talk about why is it so unfair. Yeah, you can't be, that's weak, man. You can't be weak like that. You got to roll with the punches. You got to roll with the punches, man. You just can't be weak. And then things don't go your way and you get mad. And you get in your feelings. And that's what happens to a lot of dudes. They get like a lot of these dudes, they be single for so long, they get mad at women. Because they're single for so long. And then they see an attractive woman and then it makes them mad. Because they're attracted to her and they feel like life is so unfair. They feel like, why is life so unfair? What did I do? I walk through the mall and there's an attractive woman there and there's an attractive woman there. And why these women had this effect on me? And I try to get a number, but they won't give me a number. But she's so attractive. Why is my body like this? I'm attracted to these women, but they won't give me the time of day. Yeah, them guys, eventually those guys lose their mind. They snap. They just snap, man. They have a break. Psychological break. And that's weak, man. That's weak, man. You're a grown man now. You're not a kid. You got to act like a grown man, man, whether you like it or not. Your personal life is your personal life. Go inside. You got to go you got to go figure that out. You can't get them off the mouthpiece, well, then use your wallet. Go be like these suckers. And here these suckers say, lead with your wallet. Be a sucker. Go out here and lead with your wallet. They pull your wallet out, man. It won't be for long, but hey, maybe that'll satiate you in a way where you're not running around here talking about Jalen Hurts' managerial staff and thirsting after them. And that's pretty low though, man. Anytime we live in the world of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, we live in that world right now. And this guy's going after or making lustful comments about women who are not presenting themselves to the world that way. When you got 1,000 women putting themselves to the way, and he's got the money too. They got FaceTime, $50 an hour, $50 a minute. Go get you a FaceTime jumping off, Jason. Go get you a white girl. It's a whole bunch of white women down there on Facebook. I mean, on OnlyFans. Go get you a white chick. You saw what Shannon Sharp did. Shannon Sharp did it. Shannon Sharp, when he got him a little 21-year-old white girl, he claimed he was trying to help her lose weight, but he was trying to smash. And she recorded him. And she took that information to a lawyer. And she sued him for $20 million. And that's how that goes. That's how the game go. What's up with you, Hutch?
Man, what's up, Plat, man? Dude, I actually hate seeing, man, brothers out here like this, man. Because, I mean, it's a bad look for all, especially like black men, man. It, it's so sad in a way that a guy's out here that he said he can't actually function and do his job because he's distracted by the attractiveness of women around him, dude. I mean, dude, like, I mean, do you? It's like, do you not know what they say about us, man? You know what I'm saying? It's like you just falling right up into the stereotype. Like, man, we got a whole thing, man. Like where from a stereotype standpoint, they're like, hey, you can't trust your women around the black man because I mean he just falling right into that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, like what's going on, man? What's wrong with these brothers, man? Like, and this dude has a platform. This dude before, I mean, I know like he got kind of kicked off the some of the mainstream stuff, you know, but I mean it's looking like for good reason, bro. That's ridiculous, man. You mean to tell me he's out here with his name and his likeness and such a huge platform and the first thing he's gonna come out that's gonna come out of his mouth is that um I'm a big black male and if I'm around attractive women I can't control, man, come, oh my god, man.
Yeah, and when you talk about the Me Too, he gives fuel to that movement. That's what I'm saying. I thought he's against stuff like Me Too. By him saying that, that's like an admission when women say, "Hey, I'm being harassed by a guy," and the guy said, "No, I'm not. I have to come here every morning and pick up the files." Well, you really trying to low key talk to me, and then that guy gets fired. He's giving fuel to that because he's saying that's him.
Man, like brother, like come on, man, stop that, dude. And he don't see nothing wrong with it. Like, and like when you was playing that clip, he was like, "Oh, am I the only person like that?" Yes, yes, you are the only person like that, brother. It's like that's ridiculous, dude. I mean, like when I hear stuff like that, that means to me what he's saying is that it doesn't even matter who the woman is. If she's an attractive woman, that he just can't control herself, dog. That shit. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like brothers like this, man. Dude, I don't know what they got to fix themselves, man. They need some help. It's a problem, man. It's a sickness, man. There's an issue. There's a real issue there.
It's
You know?
real, man. This is the life, but this is the life we live. We live, man.
Yeah.
It's real out here, man. And Socially, you got to adjust yourself so you can deal with reality, man. You can't live in these fantasy worlds where you think the rules don't apply. And what they say, nobody promised you a rose garden. So, and that's the thing about it, Jason Whitlock. He doesn't understand. You got all types of bad things that happen to good people in this world. All types of bad things, and you're telling the world that you're too weak to function in it.
Yep.
You're telling the world that attractive women for you are of such, despite not knowing them, are of such an issue that you literally can't work around them, and that literally makes you unemployable.
Unemployable, bro.
Yeah,
And,
because for legal reasons and stuff like that.
you're a liability to everybody, dude. You know what I'm saying? And then who going like man, like listen, like that means I can't even work with you, bro. You think I'm gonna have a wife that's unattractive? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I can't bring my family around. I can't bring my daughter around you. I can't bring my sister around. I can't bring my mother around you.
his daughter. Um, yeah, I mean, you're right. As a man, some of your friends do get attractive women. Women maybe that you before they were together, you tried to make a play at. You still
Man,
got to control yourself, and you can't. You got to respect their relationship, and you got to sort of keep shut up. You got to shut up and let her be with who she want to be with.
that's the dude got a problem, man. And then the other side of it, man. There's like so many different ways to look at this dude, man. And he's out here on public, and he's not ashamed of it. I'm like, for one, man, he's in the industry, right? So you got a management team. A lot of times, like if you got your management, your agent, they might not even be in the same state as you, bro.
Nope.
It's like, I'm like, dude, they're lawyers. Most of them, they're lawyers. They're legal people. You know what I'm saying? So it's ridiculous, dude. Like the whole point of even making that statement is ridiculous, man. She's an attorney probably in some other state that runs a management agency that has other clients. He probably only sees her like on occasion. Most of the work is done on probably over the phone and over contracts, dude. You're not looking at this woman all the time. That's crazy. It's just crazy talk. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
absolutely crazy talk, man. But that's the world. That's sad. That's the world we live in. And see, people with religion and stuff, and they interpret religion the wrong way, and it's sad, man. But it's the truth. This is the real world. Jason Whitlock has publicly said that Jalen Hurts, his play on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
X's and O's. The X's
Mm-hmm.
and O's are affected by his all-female management team.
That's
All
ridiculous.
female management team, some kind of way. Aaron Rodgers. Now, yeah, I'm trying to find these quarter. Shador Sanders. Um, Kirk Cousins. Um, all of these quarterbacks, they're not affected by their management team.
No.
Jalen's affected by his because he has an all-female management team, and the reason he's affected by them because they're attractive.
Right.
When
Right.
we look at them and everybody say they mid at best.
Right. Right. They're just women. Hey, it, and the other thing, just to add on to that, and this is I was actually talking to one of my boys about this too, because he was talking about his friend just that kind of switches up every time he's around a chick. I'm like, man, that's simp behavior, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't be the person that you are because a woman steps into the room, bro. Come on, man. Like you don't got no control over yourself because a woman steps in the room. That's not a man, dude. That's a simp. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. This woman controls you. You know what I mean? And if you can't control yourself, you can't control your libido because you just see a woman, dog. That means that woman has power over you, man. You ain't got no power over yourself, dog. You got a problem, bro. It's a problem. You got a problem. I'm like that ain't no leadership, man. And especially like, man, and then I heard this dude quote the Bible and was talking about, I don't know, like I guess when somebody else had a little scandal, he was pulling out some biblical something or other. Man, I'm
Well, you
like,
have
man,
to
come on.
practice what you preach, though, and that's the thing about YouTube. People come on YouTube and they don't practice what they preach. They claim it, but they don't practice it, and they certainly don't go through anything about it. That's the whole thing about prosecution
Hmm.
of a faith, right? They're willing to go through the prosecution because they believe in the faith. But these people, it's just like the same thing about being a conservative. They
Hmm.
claim to be Christian conservatives, but they live the life of extreme liberal.
Mm.
Kanye West is an extreme liberal.
I don't know what Kanye. It's like he's on a whole nother scale, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're extreme liberals,
Yeah.
yet they claim, just like the Trump thing. Trump, to
Mm.
some degree, he's becoming more of a like a trend,
Yeah.
to some people or whatever.
Right.
But other than that, they're not conservatives. They don't live a conservative life.
Right. You know, I'm like, and the thing like with so with the Jason Whitlock though, like I done heard this dude quote the Bible, but then in the same stream talk about buying boobs and butt lifts for chicks so he could get in that box. I'm like, bro, I'm like, what are we doing, man?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what is going on, bro?
Yeah, and you know what? And you got me on that because as someone who sort of studied politics, um, you're right. You get me on that because I've never in my life seen people. I've never seen somebody who was not a conservative claim it. I've never
Yeah,
seen that till I got to YouTube.
yeah,
And
for
and
sure.
I know these people do it for money. I get it.
Yeah.
They do it for a grift and they do it to get the money. But
Hmm.
no, it's like, okay, you're a conservative, you practice what you preach, right?
Bro.
They don't. They don't. They don't practice what they preach.
Yeah, and then you know what I mean, and it especially bothers me though because I live in Texas, man. I literally have friends that are conservative friends, and the life that they live is a completely different life than a lot of other people live, dude. I mean, they live the life that actually that they're in church, they're married, all their kids are under wedlock. They, there's certain things they do not do. They speak in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're not like, um, they're not like more, like some Amish or something like that. But they're normal people, but they hold to a set of principles that you can honor. You can be like, all right, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? And 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 on top of that, they're fair people. But then I look on and I look at these people in the mainstream where they got these platforms and they got all this money and millions of viewers, and they get on here and they say some of the most ridiculous stuff, and then they turn around and talk about Jesus, and then they talk about um how they're conservative and how other people should behave, and then in the next breath they talk about how they're buying and paying for access to women and all man, and then that, I'm like, bro, what are we doing? Like, how do
Yeah,
you
yeah, they say that. People are going to be people, man. Talk to a pastor. He has a church, and he said, yeah, women come on to me.
Mhm.
He said, yeah. He said, yeah. He said, but that's why I'm a pastor. He said, I was called by God,
Mhm.
and he said that's the devil. Really, he said, I don't blame them. He said, I look at that as the devil testing me. I don't really blame
Mm.
my constituency. And he said, because they're in my church, it's my obligation to shepherd them the right way. He said, I don't know why people think that just because a pastor, a woman flirts, a woman comes onto a pastor that he's supposed to accept it. He said, no. He said, no, but he said, I'm there to help them. So
Right.
yeah, they're going through situations. He said a lot of his widows and stuff, husband has passed away. They were in a healthy relationship with him. They were active and now he's gone. Or they get a divorce and they were active with their man. And now they have no man in their life, right?
Right.
And he says he don't have no problem going and see him, and we get that and we make jokes about it. But he says no problem going to see him. But like he says, he's not going to succumb to the wickedness of the devil. And
yeah.
so that's a part of it, man. It just depends on what are you willing to do. And Jason's trying to justify bad behavior. You can't do it, man. If I'm on the bus and I see an attractive woman, I can't whip out my thing and then tell the world, well, I'm attracted to her. What? You can't do that, man.
No, bro.
Yeah, where she was looking so good that no. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's ridiculous what you're saying, that some kind of way it's not the responsibility of the man to accept the fact that every woman ain't gonna want to sleep with him, and the ones who don't deserve less respect or whatever you got to do.
Yep.
They don't deserve less. You still got to give if you are valet parking their car, you got to park their car.
Yep. And like that reminds me, like that example you just gave. I was watching some other YouTubers stream, and they was going back into we especially like on Black YouTube, we like to get into like the whole thing about like uh mate choosing and single mothers, and then like dusty dudes, and picking the wrong people and all that other stuff. And I was like, and this is kind of like in that same lane, right? You mentioned this earlier. You said like, and we all got this in us, right? We all got a desire in us, and I call it like it's a biological initiative that you feel a certain way, and you want your body in nature doesn't care about whom's around, and all these other things, all these other factors. If you're attracted to something, that your body is going to want to reproduce. It's like it's nature. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could set on a secular level, you could just call it nature. If you want to get religious or whatever, you could call it in a religious standpoint. But I'm just gonna say nature. The nature of the human body is to want to reproduce and to want to have urges, right? But if you don't engage your higher thought processes and you succumb to that, to me, this is what it looks like. It looks like this. It looks like you can't control yourself when you're
Yeah.
around a beautiful woman. You can't.
And the thing and the thing that's scary about that, brother, is we live in the age of social media, and we live in the age of Me Too.
Yeah.
And as a man, no man should ever be walking around talking about he loses control around women he works with. No man should do that. That's extremely dangerous for men. People's whole careers have been ruined because of allegations, not even just lies. But if you walk around talking about, like Jason Whitlock said, that gives credence to that. Like saying, well, look at me, and he ain't got no woman. Nobody don't want his ass. He was harassing me, and that don't necessarily. So people assume, oh, well, she's an attractive woman, but you don't know that he did that. Whatever
Yep.
she's accusing him of, do you know that he did? And that's what I'm saying. Jason said, well, I can't talk for you, but me, I'd lose my mind. I'd be crazy having to deal with them. And I said, are you supposed to be a masculine dude? You talking like that? You just bent a knee to feminism. But you're supposed to be this masculine dude and you red pill talking? Are you nuts?
That yeah, like for one, I don't consider that masculine. I consider that just weak, and weak is not masculine. It ain't red pill because you should know better because you're supposed to be conscious and aware of the nature of things and how things handle. And on a third point, man, is that wasn't this dude just like adjacent to some stuff like that where the head of like was it ESPN or FS1 or one of them groups, wherever Shannon Sharp was at and all them other places where they got old girl got on them people fired. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't he right there? You know what I'm
Who?
saying? With Joy Taylor, that
Oh,
Joy
yeah, yeah,
Taylor
yeah.
scandal?
He was the only one at FS Sport. He was the only one at FS Sports that didn't get laid. Everybody there was smashing each other. And it's sad too because see, we all have done through that. You could be the only guy, or one of the, of the senior class in your high school. You could be one of the say it's 200 people graduating, and guys, it's 95 guys, 105 women,
Yeah,
and you could be one of say 45 guys who never got laid. But then you find out later that the other 65, they were smashing everybody was smashing but you.
right.
Yeah, and that's a reality, and I can see where there's some anger there for Jason. There's some pent up anger.
Hmm. I'm like, I guess, man. Yeah, it's coming across as that though, but at the same time, man, it's like brother, you just see, but the thing that bothers me though is that he's seen the aftermath of all that. You know what I'm saying? He's seen how that didn't come to like a good end point, and then he's gonna go on record. He's gonna go on record with that. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like because he's still a consultant, right? So he still pops up every once in a while on one of these major platforms. Though I ain't gonna lie, if I'm an exec on one of these major platforms and I see this, I catch one of this, man, I'm not calling him.
I don't know. I haven't seen him on. I haven't seen Jason Whitlock
No, he ain't been
on.
he ain't been popping up.
Nah, he's on the Blaze, and that's Glenn Beck, and Glenn Beck is not.
Yeah,
Glenn Beck is not mainstream
no,
America.
no, he ain't.
He's an
Yeah, he
extremist.
yeah he's on the right wing, Tea Party ish. He was a Tea Party come up guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I guess he ain't got nothing to lose then. So he's just saying whatever he gonna say. Whatever on top of his
Hey,
head.
I got a question about that. Like, if he's like such a right winger, and maybe I'm answering my question, but like when they say things on a right wing that like don't make sense, like Nick Fuentes, for example, why won't he use his platform to say, well, something that Nick said, uh, although I can agree with some things he say. Why would he say all black people are committing more crimes per capita? Like I never hear him use his platform to make those kind of comments, and for that reason, I'm always looking at Jason Whitlock sideways.
Well, yeah, you're probably gonna disagree with a lot of stuff he says. So I don't even know
But
what to
he'll
say.
use his, but he'll use his platform to talk about uh, Hertz. Like so, it's kind of like
Yeah.
he's going to the extreme side of it. So although he wouldn't disagree with Nick Fuentes, he'll just go in on another black man from that perspective, and for that reason, I'm looking at him sideways.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing I said about Tiger Woods. I said Tiger Woods will run around and talk about he ain't political. He's a golfer. I don't want to be involved in politics. But every opportunity there is to throw the black community under the bus, he's always talking. And I said, well, Tiger Woods, why are you talking? I remember Hurricane Katrina. I mean, what they got to do with playing golf? He was on there making comments about Hurricane Katrina. I was like, but Tiger, I thought you don't get into the politics. I thought you was just a golfer. And I said, I've never seen Tiger Woods ever say anything respectful about the black people or black community. I said, but he has no problem jumping in when it's something negative. Say none.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
and you see that with the Jasons and stuff. You see these guys.
Yeah. And maybe they're not doing it because maybe they agree with it. You know?
Right. And I don't mean to make this a thing where a black and white thing, because it's not. But I just don't see him saying that. Oh, Tom Brady has women working on his staff. I don't see that ever coming from that perspective. I could be wrong, but it kind of seems like it's something the black community's doing. He's right on it to report it, even if it's something minimal as Hurts having women on his staff.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing is like you're making a valid point, but I think overall the whole thing is that the dude is just ridiculous in the first place, man. So the the the, the,
Right.
the points that he's making as a whole is that you're talking about the staff, but it's like, man, if you talk about just the women being around you, you can't work, man. Like the dude married, you're gonna have women in your life. That means it's like it doesn't necessarily have to be related to because they're not on the football field with you. They're not in the they're not in the games with you. They're not doing the things that actually earn the money with you. So it's basically just saying that just beautiful women being around you just gonna just jack your whole life up. Like that was
Right. It's
like so
weird.
it's weird as hell.
Yeah. And I feel bad for the younger generation, or people who are just a little bit immature, if that's the word to use. Thankful for your platform, because people like him have a large following, and he can say something like that, and it goes out on the airways, and somebody says, "Yeah, Jason Whitlock was right." No, he's wrong. That's absolutely false. What he said. You got to learn how to work with women, and women need to learn how to work with men too. You got to learn how to work with them. You can't just say, "Oh, I can't have that." Like, what are you talking about? They're a part of life. I mean, you got a driver's license, don't you? You can get a car accident today, but you still drive. You got to learn how to work around women.
What if you get pulled over and the woman who pulls you over is attractive? What do? You say you can't. She can't write me a ticket. I mean, I'm just saying. What do you respond? How do you respond? Do you just say, "Hey, I got to treat her like I do any other police officer," or you're attractive. You can't write me a ticket. You're too pretty.
The odds are she's definitely gonna write you that ticket. Whereas if you just treat her like a lady, be professional, you may maybe get a warning, just might, but most likely your odds are going to be higher getting a ticket. You acting like, oh, I can't speak to you. You got to call your supervisor because you too attractive. That's dumb and weird.
And that's
If you
weak.
flirt with that woman, you might end up in handcuffs, bro.
Well, that's any woman, though. I'm just saying, you flirt with the wrong, uninvited. That you. That's what. And see, that comes down to it. That's why you got to have your shit together. Uninvited advances, but see, guys will tell you they don't want like the fat chick at the checkout, the fat chick at the gas station. They don't want that woman flirting with them. They're available. They're single. But the unattractive chick, that's why you have to be careful and use good reason and judgment when you do that. You can flirt with a police officer, but it's got to be returned. It can't be to a blank face and it's constant. Then that's when you get into other aspects. And
I
if that
mean,
ain't your thing, hold on. And if that's not your thing, don't do it at all. Simple as that. Just don't do it at all because you don't know how to gauge. You don't know how to gauge the room when it comes to females.
yep. Now, then the other side of it is, man, like, I mean, regardless if it's a chick that's attractive, it's a guy that a guy that has a different political view to you, it's somebody that's a different race than you or whatever. You need to be able to work with whomever that you're dealing with. For one, let's get that out the way, because you're not there for who the people are. You're there for the purpose of making money and doing the job. But with all that set aside, if you do have interest in somebody that you are working with, there is a certain way to find out if that's real or not without making it into a place where it's harassment, or that you're breaking rules or breaking laws,
Mm-hmm.
or you're making
Mm-hmm.
people uncomfortable. And you need to be able to put that on hold when it ain't going your way. And I'm like, and even if it ain't at work, man, just as a man, just as an adult, let's just say as an adult, when you're trying to figure out something that you want to explore a potential relationship, if you don't know when to cut it off, dude, something's wrong with you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to fix it. You need to get some help, man. That's that's all I'm saying, dude. And he sounded
Right.
like he needs some help. You know?
Right. And then I'll take it to add what you were saying. If it's got this big platform and you have you got a huge following, why not use your platform to help somebody? Not to to shut it down. Don't work with women. Show them how to work with women, like what Platt's doing right now, trying to help people. But you just send out there and then to the masses that, man, you can't work with women, and if you do that, then I'm looking at you like you're weird.
Funny.
You just
That's funny though. When you say that, that's just funny. Because why
ruin
can't
a
you
bunch
work
of
with them? I
people.
mean, this is my because see, I'm a regular dude though, and I would imagine if you was a dude and you just really got women, like every time you look up, 3, 4 women want to hop in the bed with you. I can run it. I can see how a guy like that could have issues with working with them, right? Because his success rate is just so high. But the average dude is not having no real high success rate. So what difference does it make if she's beautiful? You ain't getting them anyhow. What difference does it make?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I'm
carry on.
saying.
Carry on, brother. Carry on like normal, brother.
You see,
Hey,
you follow me on that?
I do. I do follow you on that. Now, here's what I will say though. If now if 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 I'm in a position where I'm like a manager and I'm hiring somebody, and I feel like the chick that I'm going to hire is attracted to me and won't leave me alone, I may not hire that chick. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want
Mhm.
that kind of drama. You know what I'm saying? But or like I actually run my own business, so there might be, and I'm married, so if I have to work with somebody and I feel like that, and it's a female, and then she's giving me vibes like she wants to connect with me, and she's gonna put a monkey wrench into my relationship or my thing, then I will say like, hey, I'm not gonna work with that person anymore. That's completely different than you saying that um because I can't control myself from getting at chicks. I can't have attractive women around me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
Exactly,
you know,
exactly, and that's what Jason should have said. Something like you just said, Hutch, made perfect sense to me. Let me ask you guys: for him to go on the airways and say that, isn't he just projecting? Because his insecurities or his
Yeah.
flaws, he's projecting that on other men.
Uh yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Pretty much saying, hey, I think this way, and if you don't, you know, you're not telling the truth. And he can't really say that. And then what he's saying, like I said, it don't even make sense. And then another thing about Jason, you ain't really been getting you ain't been getting women like that to even give a damn about who's attractive and who's not.
Hey, Platt man, he said he has bought plenty of boob jobs and plenty of
You don't sound like it.
Brazilian butt lifts that he would gladly buy one to get access to.
Well, he didn't get no
Oh
return
man,
on it. He bought them, but he didn't get no return.
You said he bought them and get they finessed them.
Yeah, why you doing all of that?
Yeah, like
And
I don't
another things dudes do, and they got to stop. You can't count strip clubs.
no.
Just because you tear down a strip club, that don't mean you dating. That don't mean that you are active. In the single scene. Strip clubs just don't count, man. Now, do people need them? Yeah, you damn right. Some people need a strip club. I am not trying to say don't go. If you want to, if you go, you go. But what I'm saying is, dudes try to act like the strip club is equivalent to dating, and it's not. You need to date. That's what you need to do. You need to date that individual. You need to get to know that individual. It can fail, but in a strip club, that stuff's about money, man. So let it be what it is. It's about money. Nothing wrong. If that's where you want to go to your strip club, but don't turn around and try to make it seem like the shape is the same thing as actually dating someone. And I think that's what Jason's problem is. That stuff catching up with him. Everything has a situation where it comes and it goes.
Hey, Plat, man, I'll never
Mhm.
equate, I'll never equate a box buying to dating, dude. That's
Mhm.
it's it's a ridiculous, like when I mean, because there's a lot, man. There's whole platforms associated with buying box, right? You know what I mean? Now, I will never, I will never tell someone that because you know how to open your wallet and get a woman to perform for you for pay, that you know how to handle women,
Yeah.
or that you could attract women. It's not is those are different. That you are buying a service, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
yeah, guys have to come. They have to accept that though, and that's the thing. Because of the ego, they don't want to accept that, and that's why a guy can go to a strip. You can go. I can go to Vegas and do nothing but hang out in strip clubs. But when I go back home, and people say, "How was it?" You gotta say, "Nah, man, wasn't nothing popping.
yeah,
There wasn't nothing popping. What'd you do? What you get into, man?" I just went there. I had a convention. I went to the convention, and pretty much, what else you do? I pretty much stayed up in my room, man.
for the most
Because
part,
that,
yeah.
cause that stuff don't matter. The strip clubs don't matter. You can't brag on going to a joint, and that's what I'm saying. That's why you get people get mixed up and stuff. That's two different things.
Right.
Yeah, you went to the joint. You got played. You went way out to Vegas and you got suckered.
Man,
Yeah.
man, man, hold on now, Pat. Hey, they got dudes out here that's paying for $250,000 homes and get suckered by women that worked at Wendy's, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wendy's that do women that do regular everyday jobs are out here finessing dudes worse than strippers.
Hmm.
Well,
I
That's
that
just
true.
see.
But
depends. No, hold up. Now, hold up. Don't do that, Tabor, because we keep doing that. Not really. If a
I,
dude want to give her money, that's his choice. I mean, that's the choice that he makes. If he wants to give that woman money, that's his choice. But no, don't
it,
say that woman ain't on par. She ain't making what a stripper make.
I'm I don't know. I'm just
it,
saying,
She's not.
even hey, man, I get
it
what you
depends.
saying though, right? Because it's a matter of you throwing dollars at one woman, right? You opening your wallet directly because you walked in the club, and then man, there's cats out here opening their wallet to regular everyday women in $100 outfits
Hey,
and
but
losing
check,
millions.
but check, Tabor. Like I think this is the difference though of what we're looking at. When you go into that club, that woman's at that club every day, and that's just you for that day. But she has a plethora, like it is a factory of men coming into that particular club. That's the whole design of it, is to keep facilitating a rotation of a
Hmm.
constant, continuous rotation of men
And
in
she's
that
got
particular space.
management there. You got customers, but you got customers. You got private shows. You could go. There's some strip clubs right now. NBA player, NFL player right now, depending on the strip club, he can book a private show. He can book, hey, me and a few of my friends gonna be in town Thursday. I need a couple of girls. Um, and I need you to open it up just for me. Yeah, and it's probably not open to you. You can go up to the door. Oh, y'all open tonight. They're gonna say, not tonight, man. We got a private birthday party. We got a private. It's private tonight. You go somewhere else. You don't get in there. So they have that, and that's money. They're gonna get money for that, especially if they get requested to come in there. And then you got management. Management give them money.
Man,
Thirsty management gives them money. Man, it's so many ways now. That's now obviously
It's
now.
different.
Yeah. Well, that's why you gotta leave them alone because
Yeah.
well, actually, there's another way, and it's a little bit different than uh
It's
man,
there's
them
levels to it.
girls
There's
be
levels
having
to it,
be
dog.
having whole boyfriends and husbands working at them clubs, bro.
I
I
know.
mean, there's
I've
there's
seen
there's
that.
different levels.
I've seen that
I,
cars.
I, levels. How they can give you the same STDs? The girl at Wendy's can give you the STD that the girl at the strip club can
Well,
give you.
we don't want to get into that,
We're not.
brother. We're
I
talking
That's
mean,
about
a whole
no.
different topic, though,
You can
bro.
get that anywhere.
no,
You can
man, that's
go.
the same.
No, it's not. You
Nah, not
can
really. Not
go
that's not what we.
anywhere.
That's
You
not what
can
we
go
talking about, bro.
anywhere and get affected. Like
Yeah,
that.
we're not talking about that.
I'm
Hey,
just,
hey, so
Tabor,
Tabor,
we
I hear
we,
what you're
we we
saying,
we
bro.
talk about the normal relationships and engagement. We don't really care about if you go out there and you do that. That's on you and the doctor, man.
I'm just talking
Yeah.
about the logic behind it.
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
I'm.
go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I'm listening, bro.
No, what I was saying though, like when it comes to that, like what Plow was talking about, um, it, there's different levels. Like, can you pull a girl out of the club and do and have a relationship with her? Yeah, I mean it does happen, bro. But at the same time, like what a lot of guys are doing in there, what the mass majority are doing, not doing that. What the mass majority are doing is that they are on a constant rotation of being of paying out of their pocket, and they're replacing a normal interaction with a woman with that interaction with a paid person to be nice to them, to treat them in a certain manner. And they're confusing the two and then thinking they know how to deal with women because that's what they're doing. And that's more common than what you think. You talking from a normal dude standpoint. You might be like I don't know you, but you sound like you might have some real life experience with women. So you seeing like a normal man's interaction with relationship. You
Man,
not seeing it from some of these incel mindset, these trick box buying mindsets, bro. You know,
man,
it's
just
the
bro,
Well,
just because you outside and you got a couple dollars in your pocket and you can move and groove in regular everyday life, bro, they get finessed the same. I'm trying to grasp what y'all saying, but when it comes to women, bro, they all be, bro. An old woman want the same thing a young woman want. Y'all can't tell me no different. We got online right now. We can see it. They saying it. And the same woman that's out here talking crazy online, a dude taking her out tonight. And they watch her content online.
yeah.
So you
I'm
trying to be logical about it, and we all know women don't really move logical because a regular woman can ruin your life just like a stripper can ruin your life.
I mean, and I'm not saying that that's not possible, bro.
well, the women are women, brother. So,
Women are
it,
women.
okay,
That's
wait a minute. Wait a minute. So that being said, women are women. So if you can handle um the woman who works at Popeyes, you probably don't even need to be dealing with women.
If you can't
because
handle the woman at Popeyes,
yeah, you probably if you cannot handle a basic square average chick, you probably need to leave them alone because it's just not your lane. It can't be if you getting turned out and used by basic average women, that's not really where you need to be as a
man.
man.
But we gotta be honest, bro. I mean, we can't be acting like it's the 70s and we don't know
You
what's
sound like
going on. They
I,
getting
I,
finessed too by regular women.
but he just said the answer to that. You probably don't need to be dealing with him.
Yeah, but so who you supposed to deal with?
that's up to you, brother.
Yeah. Hey, but here's the thing. Hey, Tabor, man, I 100% hear what you're saying, and I got an answer to some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? All right. For one, you got to look at what is it that you really looking for. All right, if you're getting it, and a lot of guys are deluding themselves about what they're looking for, what they're getting, because they're not getting anything they're looking for. They just happy to have a piece of woman. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
They ain't, so they already know
mm.
out the gate. They already know out the gate that if them dudes are getting finessed by the chicken Popeyes, they already know out the gate they getting screwed over because they was hoping that that girl was gonna act right. They ain't never got nothing out of that girl that they wanted. Now, now, on a scale of men that want to have long relationships and functional relationships and then have families and stuff like this, I'm going to tell you, yes, you're going to put money on the line. You're going to pay because what you're doing when you create a family is that you are saying that I'm deciding to be obligated to people that will be in my life for anywhere from 18 to the rest of my life until I die. And then when you're obligating yourself to somebody, you're going to take care of them. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
bro,
And when
married men get finessed every day, bro.
that
Every day, bro. There's a law. If a man, I mean, if a woman get pregnant while being married, that's the husband baby.
hey,
But
bro,
if the
bro,
if the if the husband get another woman pregnant, that ain't his wife's baby.
hey,
That
bro,
don't even make sense.
check this out. Check this out.
Man, I'm trying to hear you, bro.
Check this out. All right, there's two things I'm gonna say. You ain't never gotta put your thing in a woman ever. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
I'm missing where you going with that.
I mean, so like you ain't never gotta sleep with a woman ever. You ain't never gotta do it. So when you get into the game, you gotta know the risk. So that's the first thing I'm gonna tell a brother. Like if you get into this game, if you get into a game and you don't know what the consequences are of playing this game, don't play the game.
But that don't even make sense.
What do you
Cause
mean it
people,
don't make
cause
sense?
cause cause people, everybody have a risk tolerance.
Yeah, listen, we appreciate you, man. Look, we got another stream we about to start right now. We got
Okay,
the link in it. It's right there in the chat box, man. We finna
cool,
go ahead and shut this down and we finna start. Hold up. I started right now. We finna start our new stream
cool.
right now. So here we go.
All right, bro.
It's live right now. You'll see it if you click on the link, or if you just
I
look
see
at
it.
the thing, you'll see it. We're about to go live. We finna cut this off. Jason Whitlock, he basically we proved our point with him, and the people who want to listen to him, go ahead. We just offered our thoughts and our opinion, and go ahead and figure it out. But we're gonna get on this Chili thing. We know Chili got in a lot of heat, and we want to speak on that because people are saying she got canceled. Like, share, support, man. We got to join the new stream. It's down there in the chat box. We got the other stream active. And we out.